out? Are we expecting Russ to be contained by that 49ers D? But
it's kind of a bad matchup for the Seahawks when you really break it down.
Yeah, like Arizona's put up 25 on San Francisco.
But we talked about it. It was Thursday night game.
Short rest.
Thursday night games. They're just fucking bullshit.
And if you think about this, I can't recall a time ever since Thursday football became a weekly thing that a team has had a full rest because they play Monday night the next week.
I forgot my house. I'm always tilted from driving here. Can we smoke a little bit real quick?
Yeah, go ahead. We're live, but yeah. We're live just so we don't lose the viewers.
Yeah, okay, no, that's fine.
It's the viewers like you that make this possible.
Yes.
I just enjoy doing it because I think it's fun.
Yeah. Shout out to we're live, right? Shout out to any veterans, yo.
Yeah, there you go.
That's
a good point.
Happy Veterans Day. We won't be able to see Happy Veterans Day on Monday. So I myself was in the Army, and I love my people. So I will be in Boston Monday night, Celtics game.
Nice. Oh, that's the little surprise you were talking about too.
Yeah, I'll be rocking my Army shirt and shit. You know,
nice man. It. Who's going for that with it?
My cousin.
Sweet.
My cousin. Yeah. I took the days off. We're gonna go early and shit. Politic with the people.
Who do they play Monday night?
Dallas Mavericks. They're good too. Okay. They got some young. They got I don't know if you watch the NBA. Doncic is nice.
Luka Doncic.
Luka Doncic is nice. And they also got Porzingis.
Yeah.
The Knicks are. Oh my God, the Knicks are the worst run.
Porzingis wanted out of there so
yeah,
bad.
He did.
It was just a matter of going to play with Doncic was a no-brainer.
It just like if I have a guy right. So if I'm the franchise, whatever, I own or whatever, and like my star player wants to go out, okay, fine. You know, we'll give you your divorce, but I'm about to get the load for him. You know what I'm saying? I'm not taking they got shit for him. They got Dennis Smith Jr. and some
I think I think he probably
fire sold him
somewhat hostage and said, I'm going to Dallas. This is where I want to go. Because Dirk on the team, Dirk is still going to be heavily involved with that squad, telling stuff, doing a lot of things. Right, I know that. But he's going to be, I don't know if he has any title with the Mavericks now, but I would imagine he's still
eventually
going to be heavily
involved. They love that.
It's and Doncic is there. It was a no-brainer for him to want to go to the Mavericks.
It's a nice spot.
God damn it.
Nice landing spot.
Yeah, you're mad about Lev Bell and James Conner questionable tags too, huh? I get it. That happened. I think they're both playing this week, but
it's strange. They activated. They got Josh Adams or something.
Yeah, but they said he had come in and said hey, I'm okay. The Jets basically said it's precautionary. It doesn't sound like he's not playing. And Tomlin, who's very transparent, if anybody's watching, listening in this early stuff now before we officially start, a lot of head coaches, you don't get anything from, you don't know exactly what they're going on. Out in Seattle, for example, notorious for being so optimistic. Carroll, oh yeah, they'll be back tomorrow. There's don't listen to what Pete Carroll says. If you're looking for fantasy stuff and you want to actually have a coach you can trust, Mike Tomlin, straight shooter. He tells you what he thinks. He says he's optimistic Connor is playing this week. Believe him. And imagine you're starting Connor unless there's a setback. They want him healthy. They wouldn't put him out there if he wasn't. He will be the lead back if he's out there. But Tomlin, he is a guy you can trust. He is transparent. He is fantasy football gold.
That's so. On a side note,
I'm a huge Tomlin fan.
That son of a bitch has him in wild card contention.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
A few weeks ago, I said he's going to make it out of the season. Now I'm and that wasn't because of me. It wasn't I would fire him, but
no. But I told you though, this was a team played the Niners really tough. Unfortunate fumble by Connor, who we just talked about, that really hurt them that game. Played Baltimore really tough, lost that game in overtime, in a game they probably should have won. Seattle had a lead late, maybe should have won that. We're talking about a team that's a player or two away. Instead of talking about a 4-4 team, we're talking about a 5-3, maybe even 6-2, 7-1 team. The chips fall the way they are, but those three close games didn't go their way at all.
Hey, we got a cameo from the dog.
And my dude Deshaun is watching, bro. I'm sorry I'm eating this crap. We're gonna hit the gym hard at later. I got you.
Yeah, I think they're still okay. I don't know that they're winning the division. Baltimore is a solid team.
They're not winning the division.
They're going to have their brain farts. I mean, look, we've seen Baltimore go up and down. They're going to have brain farts. They just are their Baltimore. But
does Baltimore play this week or they on a bye?
Yeah, Baltimore plays.
Yeah,
they had their bye.
They
Who
already
did they
had
play?
their bye. The Cincinnati Bungles
And then after that,
in Cincinnati.
they got the Texans.
Beautiful.
I can't wait for that game.
That's just Lamar. Lamar's amazing.
Lamar versus Watson.
I made a big mistake.
Did that game get flexed in the prime
Made a
time?
big-
by the
I
way?
hope so.
Please don't ever make this mistake, all right? Do not ever bench Lamar Jackson. Now, that was the dumbest thing that has ever been done in fantasy.
If
Like,
you guys watched the show last week, I told them live on the show.
Oh, my
play
God.
Lamar Jackson. Positive, I said that.
he's yeah, you did.
You
We
did.
we didn't listen to Jeremy Shefty, and I apologized to him, and I recruited him onto the team because I'm
He's
stupid.
the same. You're the same son of a bitch that told me, "Why aren't you keeping Aaron Jones?" Oops.
Yeah, I told him flat out, I don't get why you're not keeping Aaron Jones, but
It's because I don't trust the Packers because they have these running backs like Ryan Grant, like
Yeah.
Cedric Benson. Well, he didn't do shit there, but like these guys will come in, they're 1-year wonders, and then they get replaced.
yeah, but it's just value based. You know, you're trying to
It was
get
a
a guy
ninth
for
round
good value.
pick.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
it's value based. That's
Keeper is value based.
Yeah, it's value based. Unless you have one, like I've been thinking about it. In fact, I was talking with someone else from another league today about keepers because he's saying you got to do our dynasty league. And I'm like, oh, I'm in this hybrid type of one, with this and that. And I said I'll probably wind up with Connor and Boyd since I traded away Metcalf. But I'm like, it all depends. I guess if I have a late pick, it could be Dalvin Cook. Because if I pick like 11th in the first round, I might be tempted to keep Dalvin Cook for that 11th pick.
Yeah, he's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see what winds up happening. There's a lot to it, but a lot of strategy.
There's plenty to it.
Yeah, for me, I just got boned this week in our league.
My
Percent going down to the first quarter. I mean, I can't complain that Lambeau had his worst week, but my kicker, it took Percent going down to the first quarter. My kicker to have his worst possible week. Garbage time points from Aaron Rodgers. Connor not playing. D.D. Westbrook being a late scratch. Sterling Shepard being a late scratch. I had to pick up Willie Snead just to try to get some
That's
points.
why you started. We couldn't figure
And
it
I
out.
lost by like 2.5 points.
I
I
only
wound
figured
up
it
having
out
to put
after.
Ty Johnson and Willie Snead in. I didn't have points because Shepard scratched so late
Yeah, it was
that
late.
I couldn't get anybody on the 4:00 games. I'm looking at all of a sudden. I'm like, why do I have a 0? I'm
I
like,
read into that. I don't think he's coming.
concussion
I don't think he's coming
protocol.
back. I don't think he's coming back.
right.
this year.
So it was either Cody Latimer or him, and Cody Latimer would have made it slightly closer, but I
Yeah, he had a
still,
touchdown.
I still would have lost by like a half a point because he had 1 catch for 1 yard for the touchdown.
You know how funny
I was
that
down
is?
like 7.5.
Your like scenario. I had the same exact scenario in another league, and I somehow found out that because I could put Latimer in, and I put him in, and I won by like 3 or 4 points.
And I would have just lost with him, but I had to. I'm like, well, I'm dropping Shepard to pick him up, and it didn't matter because now it looks like Shepard's probably done for the year. But I was like, you fucking kidding me? And to lose and like just gift wrap them the win. I mean, if any one of those things goes my way, like any of them, and I get
This is why I've questioned my
Danny
love.
P.
Danny Patel. This is why I've questioned my love for this stuff. It's like I can't control half of this shit.
Like it was. I already knew Connor might not play. Okay, fine. But then to lose because Aaron Rodgers does that shit in garbage time and because Jacoby Brissett gets hurt 5 minutes into a fucking football game, like
Let me tell you something. We're gonna speak of that.
it was
Like I was
brutal.
saying earlier, there's
Yeah.
2 things I'm still having nightmares about from my
Yeah.
league. The first one is trading to get Nick Chubb in the first round with Daniel Ferrier. And my initial thought was, I'm going to take Michael Thomas.
Yeah, and then
But I had this obsession with Chubb. It was terrible.
I'm still of the mindset though, and people can draft how they like in their
Spoon
leagues.
is
It
very
all
obsessive.
depends. You take running backs early. It's just a much more shallow position. I don't think it's ever a
Michael
bad
Thomas
play.
is a 20 or 30-point guy a week.
Right, I understand that, but who would have known? And then Cooper Kupp and Tyler Lockett were back-to-back picks in the 3rd round in our league. Now 3rd round, maybe you're thinking that was early. Remember, we keep 24 players, so it's like a 5th round pick.
Yeah,
I expected Tyler Lockett to have a good year this year.
Right, and I expected Cooper
been
Kupp
growing.
to. Yeah, like everybody looked at me like, well, why are you giving Danny the higher 2nd round pick and you taking the higher 3rd round pick? I said, because my guy is Josh Jacobs, who panned out way better even without the injury than
He's probably going to be offensive rookie of the year.
then what's his name there on Detroit? Kerryon Johnson, and I was able to still get Kupp, the receiver I targeted. So that's why I traded down. Like people looked at me like, well, what the fuck are you doing? I was taking Josh Jacobs there regardless. So why not trade down?
Well, we already hammered it down last week, but so I was looking at my roster and we're talking about the same league. I only own one player that I drafted.
We can start. I'm gonna have one more slice.
One player.
Because that'll
I
look
only
awkward
own
stream,
one
but-
player that I drafted, meaning I drafted shitty, obviously. But that draft is very hard because we just talked about it. The value's all different.
You own one. I'm about to only own 3. And I don't even know if I drafted my kicker. And that's
And
him.
the one guy is Joe Mixon, who knows? He might become dustable. He might become good. I don't know.
AJ Green coming back. It balances out the offense. It might help. And
I have 3.
We'll see.
And I got rid of Mr. Stephon Diggs, who I've owned since I've been in the league. So
you love
so pretty much
Yeah,
what we're telling you
Yeah.
is that we started a straight fire sale in our league, which is fun. First of all,
yeah, it's
Second of all,
yeah.
don't hold on to. Once again, you don't own these guys in real life. If you don't go down with your team, this is money. This is money at stake. Free league, who gives a crap? I don't know why anybody would play fantasy football for free because it just becomes meaningless at some point.
I do with my kids, but they're little.
Yeah,
kids,
but
you know,
yeah, like with your kids, and I understand that.
No, they got bored with Zinga Polka. Their dead
Yeah.
ass broke, and they can't play in the real league.
Well, that makes
They
sense.
gotta get
Yeah, that
stimulated
makes sense.
somehow with the
But
high.
like going down with your team just doesn't. It just I can't like fathom it. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like I'm gonna at least be trying to make trades. If
Yeah.
nobody wants to trade with me, well then whatever. But
But,
How the hell did we all do trades with each other, pass around players like once?
pretty much we pass around
Sometimes that
players like
happens.
Blunts, and now all of our teams
well,
became
because
better.
we talk about it though, like we send it out. Like I'll send out stuff. The only other person I talk to, Danny Patel, Danny LaFerrier, or you two. We have guys in our league that won't trade. They won't trade.
Well, I told you guys, remember, you forgot there's one
Right,
caveat.
Finley now, yeah,
You guys got to talk to
Because
Zach because he's got control of the
because
team. I
Zach will
called Zach
trade.
personally.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
Zach
no,
will
no,
trade.
no,
Black
I don't
won't.
have his
But I
number.
just said like we have guys that won't. But we trade a lot because we talk about it. If I have someone up for trade or someone I'm interested, I'll shoot you a message,
Mhm.
and then we can talk about it and see where we go and go from there. You know.
Another thing that's funny is that if half of these people accepted the trades that I sent out, my team would be an absolute dust fest. Like
It happens. My team would be very different if I would have made a
Polish
trade
Dan would
for.
have a better team than you.
Yeah, if I'd have made a trade.
Everybody, even Polish Dan would have. I swear on my life, I sent him like 8 trades that I looked at them. I remember them, and if he would have accepted any one of those, his team would have been better than my team. Yeah.
I'd have Aaron Rodgers. I wouldn't have Dalvin Cook. I probably still would have traded you Hunter Henry and what's his name for James White. And I don't know what I did. My team would be very different.
I think it would be very bad, very bad.
It'd be a very different squad. Or if Danny accepted a reasonable trade before he gutted his fucking team,
Yeah, he did.
which I don't understand. He didn't have to gut his team for Marlon fucking Mack.
No, no, he didn't.
He could have had
Like,
Josh Jacobs.
It's funny
straight up
because
for
I
Russell
didn't really
Wilson.
like that trade, but I loved it because I was like, oh shit, I played him in 2 weeks, and he's not gonna have anybody.
Yeah, he could have had Josh Jacobs straight up.
Deshaun Watson and Nuke are on the bye. He got nobody.
Let
I
me
don't
tell
even
you
know who he's
something,
gonna
guys.
play against.
Well, I just played Danny P with the Saints duo on the bye, and he managed to fuck me in the ass.
I got a little something you guys might love here. You'll get off. on this.
Prostitutes?
Yeah.
How much?
I don't know. You said he'll get off on this. I thought maybe that's what you were talking about.
I get off on that, yeah, but
It's funny because I don't get off on.
You're gonna get off on this.
I don't want to pay. You know what I'm saying? I don't pay.
Hey, this
Like,
is free knowledge for
They
your
gotta
mind.
pay for me. They gotta fucking take me out and shit. You feel
It's
me?
free knowledge for your mind. I'm going to have an upgraded roster including Melvin Gordon, Emmanuel Sanders, and Josh Allen when I go up against fucking Alex this week. And
Good.
trust me, I'm ecstatic.
Good.
I'm upgrading against Alex.
That was a good trade. That was a nice trade.
Yeah, we want to knock Alex off his high horse. He does have a really good team, though. Although
Yeah.
McCaffrey makes almost any team a really
Yeah,
good
he
team.
does.
So
He's like single-handedly.
I was wrong. I was worried about him getting the box stacked against him. It's not happening.
Everyone was like, it was Kamara or McCaffrey, and I was on McCaffrey.
No, it's Barkley, Kamara, McCaffrey, if you remember.
Yeah, and I still would have somehow taken McCaffrey over all 3 of those. Somehow.
it's tough.
It's
I
just
went.
PPR. Just PPR.
I would take
I went Barkley in the one league I had a top pick for. I had another league I picked 4th, and I went Zeke. Actually, so
Yeah, you really can't go wrong with any of those dudes. Anyways,
Yeah.
but obviously Barkley's had a struggle because the Giants surged.
I'd have probably taken Zeke over McCaffrey as well if I knew Zeke was playing, but we had all that holdout stuff at the
Guys,
beginning of the
I'm
year.
sorry, let me interrupt. Look at her. Look how sad she
Oh,
is.
What did you say?
did she have a piece of crust?
No, I didn't tell you guys
This
the
is
story.
Maddie, right?
Yeah. I told you the story
I have
what
a good
happened,
friend.
right?
Her name is
I
Maddie.
didn't tell you this, though. There were 4 rescues that were living here. that she adopted.
Yep.
The oldest one was Rocky, and that was the one she was closest to. My mother had to have him put to sleep 2 weeks ago.
Shit.
Oh, jeez.
That
Well,
sucks.
Her and Max, Maddie and Max have just been
Sad for
very sad. They've been coming around there sniffing around looking for Rocky. Like, I actually feel bad. Like, that was Maddie's best friend in the world was that dog, Rocky.
Yeah. Well, can Maddie get a piece of crust? Help
No.
Sorry, Maddie, you're out of luck.
No gluten. No gluten.
She just wants to say
Gluten,
hi.
yeah, she's gluten free.
No, my mother always tells me, like, it's never good to feed your dogs pizza crust because the way it expands in their stomach
Manny
is not good for
Sanders,
them.
the third year in a row that I draft
And trade
Emmanuel Sanders, and then I trade him. Actually, there was 1 year where I traded him, got him back, and traded him again. And I don't have anything against Emmanuel Sanders. Shout out to Emmanuel Sanders. He's a man.
Maddie, you got to go upstairs,
You and
honey.
I
I'm
talked
sorry.
about the potential of me getting Cooper Cup back.
Hey,
You know?
anything is possible.
Yeah, you never know.
I almost tried to get James White back from you.
You just offered me a trade to get back
Mike Evans. What was it? It was Goff. It was
Goff, John Brown, and Matt Breida. For
just for Evans
Mike
trade.
Evans.
He needs a quarterback. I like John Brown, actually, even though I'm trading him. I like
It's hard to trade.
Evans is like, because I feel like everybody that's like, Godwin's number one. No, it's not.
Godwin is 1B.
I mean, I thought
Godwin is good, but Evans is.
Come on, man.
Evans is a target monster, and that's not going to change. Like, even in the weeks, he hasn't had great weeks. He did have that straight 0 one time, but it's going to happen to someone eventually in a career. But he's really good. He consistently gets 7, 8 targets is like a floor for Mike Evans.
What's good about that situation is that they're always going to be down.
Mm-hmm.
They're always going to be passing.
And Jameis wants to air it out.
And Jameis, all he wants is some damn crab legs.
Side note, congratulations to Ronald Jones. You are now the starting running back of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He finally is showing that he was worth that second-round pick that they spent on.
I'm still going to go to the hot hand there.
And it's still going to be a dumpster fire.
I'm still going to go to the hot hand. I mean, if you have Ronald Jones, good for you.
Dude, I'll never forget. I think it was it this draft or was the other draft I did? Alex. Oh, yeah, it was the other draft I did. Alex took a flyer on Dario Gumbuale.
Yeah,
because he thought he could overleap them too.
Yeah, I believe
no, I did it here.
Was it here? Okay. I remember he got drafted, but yeah, it's I mean,
I wouldn't take.
But when you think about it though, guys like that, I would rather take a late round flyer or a late round dart or something on that. You know, I wound up with Singletary late in our league. I took Waller off of waivers. I took before I knew anything, before Henry was injured. I snagged him early, trying to make a preemptive call on a guy. You never know. Taking a guy like a Gumbawale, I mean, I'd rather have a dart and have a chance for it to pay off huge.
Yeah, but Alex loves his darts. He did the same shit with Darwin Thompson.
This is what that guy loves.
Fine, but that
guy loves picking up people.
But this is like the 5th,
how about
6th,
when that
7th, 8th, 9th round?
Okay, that's too early because I was just gonna say, look at the dart I threw with James Conner and nailed that, and I had Conner every fucking where last year in like every league.
We had him in the big league. That was nice. Last overall pick, I believe. I believe we had
16th round.
I was actually worried because I think Danny Patel had Lev Bell in our league that year.
Yeah,
and I was worried the round before I wound up taking Roethlisberger because I'm like, well, it's too much value there. We have a really deep bench in our league.
Well, here's the thing: he tried doing it remotely,
and I'm like, I can wait one more on Connor, and then I'm like, oh, Danny's gonna fucking take him. Danny's gonna fucking take him.
He probably wasn't paying attention because here's the thing: he did the draft remotely last year.
Yeah,
and it makes a difference. Like Chad could do it remotely; he'll pay attention.
If he would have snagged Connor that year, his keepers would have been Kamara and James Conner.
Well, I'm about to make all those fools respect me. I'm going to put some
respect. You're probably doing a fantasy draft to play a PP.
Can we make this official? Can we make this official? If I win that, you got to name that shit after me, bro.
Joseph,
you have to name the trophy after me if I win it.
Well, you win 3 years in a row, I will.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go.
You hear it first. Here.
Yep, we got it.
And then those other dudes better put some respect on my name.
Well, here's the difference. Here's the difference between the last couple of years and this year. Last year, you were the active one, negotiating with everybody in the league. This year, the three of us have been fucking bonsai fucking nut jobs with this. And it's working. Hey,
sometimes you have to do that.
Left for dead, and I was in mediocre status for life, and then all three of our teams get brought to life as of these moves.
You have to do that. You have to be active like that.
And it's just with guys that you already had too.
Yeah.
What's that? Well, pretty much everybody. Did we all got our rosters?
Yeah, I think
got
I
my
have
roster
3 or 4
absolutely
guys
gutted.
remaining off of my team. Yeah,
I have 3 left.
yeah, it's not many for me. It's
I've
3 or
won.
4, and
Joe
that's if you
Mixon,
count
that's it.
Cam Newton because he's on my IR.
And you're probably going to release him, so you're not keeping
It doesn't matter if I have to open an IR spot, obviously.
Yeah, but there's
So,
2, so it doesn't even matter. You
Yeah,
can just
yeah,
leave them there.
it's meaningless at this point.
Well, if Le'Veon Bell and how many guys you got that are questionable or injured right now?
You.
Connor,
Yeah.
Bell.
Connor,
I think,
Le'Veon,
like you said, I think
Dede.
Connor plays.
Connor, Le'Veon, Dede, Westbrook. I think they both
What's
play this
even
week.
Didi's injury? I don't even
I have
know.
no clue. I think
Is
they all
anybody-
play this week, but I don't think I'll be starting Dede anyway.
Didi's on a bye.
Oh yeah, that's right. There you go.
And
Yeah, I'll be going back because I get Robert
I
Woods and
would-
Boyd back this week, which will.
Robert Woods back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be sick. This
I
is
think
gonna
I
go
actually
off.
have a liking
Yeah,
for
like-
Boyd moving forward with AJ Green coming back and them changing the quarterback.
What
I'll
about
help him.
Woods?
I also feel the same about Woods.
Yeah, I mean it's tough with Cooks out and now with a week off. I think they probably talked about it. Let's get this guy back
Yeah.
involved. You know,
I think it's a very
like
easy
I don't
talk too.
think you're talking about a guy who's like a top 15 receiver going forward, but I think he's going to come back and really. But he could be top 15.
He'll come back to reality, which
Yeah.
reality for him is he's super reliable.
Yeah, you hear guys talk about regression doesn't mean all the time, usually in a negative stance, like their touchdowns will regress back lower or whatever it is. I feel Robert Woods is going to regress to a positive mean. I feel like he's going to get back to the guy that you can count on for 7 grabs and 85 yards. And,
Yeah, that's what I feel like.
Yeah,
because those 7-8 point games are
yeah,
killer.
I think you're going to be back to looking in PPR leagues for him to have those good games, and he's going to score touchdowns too. They're not going to come in droves, but he's going to get you some of those as well.
Yeah, I look for the Rams to just be better overall. I mean, they're in a tough spot because they got the Seahawks and Niners above them.
Listen, the Rams.
They'll be better.
Excuse me, the Rams and the Seahawks are in the most troublesome spot right now because. Excuse me.
Not as troublesome as you. You're about to die. We're
I need
about,
Leonard Fournette
we're about to
get
be
hurt,
calling
too. Let's
911 on
let
the
him
air.
go.
bro.
Neither of them, neither of those teams are winning the division.
Yeah, it's true.
And
Well,
it's not guaranteed.
Hold on. Let's see Monday. Let's watch Monday night. Let's see what happens. I don't listen. There's one player that I can't doubt is Russell Wilson. He's hard to doubt.
Let's I'm gonna validate your point real quick because I'm gonna break down the 3 schedules real quick. The Niners have remaining. I'm not talking about division games. They all got to play each other, I think, still at least once. Well, Seahawks have to play. You know what I mean?
They're gonna play each other
They
twice.
played Seahawks and Niners twice,
Right,
and
it was that
everybody else has
sandwich,
already
yeah.
played each other once.
Yeah, so that's gonna play itself out.
Well, I mean, and then here's the thing: the Niners, they all have different paths. The Niners have to play the Packers, the Saints, the Ravens,
The gauntlet.
Yeah.
It's a gauntlet.
Yep. And Seattle twice.
Seattle twice.
Yeah.
They have a date with Arizona.
Mhm.
They have a cupcake with Atlanta that might not be a cupcake
So
though.
I remember, I think it was weeks ago, we
And
were
then
like,
who's
you know,
the
they
other
have a nice path. But now you think about it, it's like we're gonna find out before the playoffs. We're gonna find out about the Niners before the playoffs.
You want me to pull up their schedule?
Did they play the Rams twice?
They have
They
to
play
play the
them
Rams
one more
once
time.
more.
Okay.
They dominated them in LA.
Yeah.
in
So
LA.
LA, Arizona, Baltimore, Green Bay, Seattle, and
New Orleans.
New Orleans. That's
There's
it.
one more. They're 8-0. They have
Okay, 8. That's right. They had a bye. Seattle, New Orleans, Green. So
I think you named 8.
the Rams.
I did not name 8. I named 7.
I think in Baltimore, that's 7. Yeah, we're missing somebody. Did they play Cincinnati yet?
Yes.
Cleveland?
Yes.
Played Pittsburgh. What's the other division they're playing?
It's the NFC South, but I think they played all 3 teams.
They
Not
played
New Orleans.
They played the Bucks.
They played the Bucks. They played
They
the
played
Panthers.
the Panthers. They're about to play the Saints. The Falcons. They still have to play the
They
Falcons.
played the
That's 8.
Falcons.
Oh, never mind.
I already said the Falcons. Though.
No, then that's 8. If they haven't played the Falcons, we named all 8 then.
Falcons, Saints, Seahawks, Rams,
Ravens,
Cardinals, Ravens.
Packers.
Yeah, so there's only one cake game in there, huh? The Falcons, you said they played the Falcons?
Yeah, but that's the thing. It could be a revenge game for them against Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah.
So
I don't factor that in.
Tevin Coleman revenge game. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a
Listen,
storyline.
If you want to go and rescue the Falcons out of the trash can, you can do that. But I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bury them even more.
Well, here's the thing: they're going to try harder because Dan Quinn knows if they don't finish fucking 7-9, he's
Yeah.
fired.
I think he's gonna end no matter what they do.
All right.
All right, but now let me finish something.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Sorry. So we got the Rams now. Okay. Their schedule is. I'm going to pull this one up here.
I found a site that has some sick stats that I can let them.
Well, they get the Ravens too, but they get them at home.
Yeah.
They broke it down by position and everything. It was like this team is this.
Yeah.
If you stick to those numbers, man, I mean,
Are you talking about the stats for yards allowed, points allowed that you had last
position?
week?
Yeah.
Oh, you go by position.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have positional breakdowns. I have the quarterback, wide
If you
receiver,
stick to those
quarterback
kind of,
matchups.
like in my opinion, I'll just go down. If those numbers are wrong, if it ends up being wrong, I'll just go down with that. I'll go down. I'll go down with that.
Here we go.
Because at this point in the season, those numbers mean something. In the first few weeks, it doesn't matter. You're still trying to figure it out.
This is the Rams.
Yeah.
At this point, this is when
Steelers, Bears, Ravens, Cardinals, Seahawks.
So
Cowboys, Niners, Cardinals.
I'm super interested in that game.
Look,
in the Steelers Rams.
Yeah, at Pittsburgh, tough game.
Super
Bears are still a serviceable team. Probably not. The Ravens, real tough game. Cardinals, okay, fine. Seattle, super tough game. Cowboys, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Hard to tell.
Obviously, the Niners, really tough game. Cardinals, really only 2, maybe 3 gimmies in there. It's not much.
It's going to be hard for them.
It's going
to be even hard for them to even make the playoffs when you think about it, because of their division and then what are they, 5-3? They're 5-3. Yeah, so they're going to
Seattle slate.
I would say they have to go at least 10-6, 11-5, right?
I think of the 3. Yes, I think of the 3 teams. The Niners actually have the toughest slate left.
Yeah, what does Seattle have remaining?
Seattle has. Let me just get it. They have. They're at San Fran. They have a bye week. Then it's Sunday night if it doesn't get flexed out, because who knows, in Philly.
Yep.
Home to Minnesota.
Yeah.
At the Rams. At the Panthers.
Yeah. Versus the Cardinals. At the Niners.
And home to the Niners.
It's a tough schedule. But they have 2 though. Yeah, they have they have the.
This one's at, and then the last week's home. I think being at home.
Yeah, it's not an easy game.
It's going to be a big game for them.
Yeah,
they're going to get
a tough game. Yeah.
The game against Minnesota.
Definitely have a
if you guys are excited about the first half of the season, the second half of the season is going to be dope.
Well, here's the thing.
There's some mega matchups.
Are we under the belief the Vikings don't catch the Packers in the standings?
I think they do. I still like the Vikings. I know
this
they lost
week was such a chance,
to,
such a good chance to get there.
City, but,
it was such a good chance to get there.
Yeah,
this week.
but it's look, they still say the Chargers still did them the favor. Yeah, they lost to the Chiefs, but that's I think they still get there. Losing at Arrowhead, that's not a bad loss.
Yeah,
I think it's way worse to lose to San Diego.
Oh yeah,
and for Green Bay to be obliterated. Really,
I was confused.
Like that. It took Aaron Rodgers garbage time to make that game even close.
What did he have? Like 30 yards?
He had nothing. He had like 74 yards going into like the fourth quarter. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was literally Aaron Rodgers garbage time. Just repeat that to yourself. Aaron Rodgers garbage time, because you won't say that again.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers.
I was pretty stoned.
Last time
I was stuck.
I've seen it before though. You remember 5 years ago? I remember I was here at a marathon game here at Beckman Stadium.
Yeah.
They were in Buffalo, and he struggled as the Bills' defense was a top 5 unit. Yeah. They were on the road, and they lost, and he had his worst game.
Yeah. It does happen. They do occur. I'm not going to say they don't, but it's few and far between, especially against a defense that you don't think scares you with the Chargers. I know they got Melvin Ingram back, so maybe that helped a lot more than I thought.
It makes all the
difference. Did.
So
as long as he's healthy, Joey Bosa's healthy.
Yeah.
They're fine.
They definitely got a good front.
Yeah.
And now they got Melvin Gordon at full strength with a new offensive coordinator.
The problem is their secondary is really bad. So, like, if they don't get the pressure, they ain't going to be able to.
But they can get the pressure.
That's the thing.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Getting Ingram back. Having one nice end is different than having 2 nice ends. Now both the tackles are worried.
Yeah.
Instead of being able to double this one guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what they were able to do when he wasn't there. So.
I mean,
that's true.
Again, I like to also we're basically just going all around the league, so it's just
I know. Yeah.
If you're just joining us, we're discussing or just random thoughts about week 8. No, it was week 9, right?
Week 9.
Week 9,
yeah.
And we're coming to these synopsis on what we see going for the next 7 weeks, and then after we're done recapping, we're going to talk about.
I got to stretch because I have a tomahawk dunk coming.
Yes.
I got to do some stretching.
We're going to talk about some headlines this week, and we're going to run down the schedule and make the picks. And I called it here last week. I said the Dolphins are going to win that game, and they did. I just when you have a team as bad as the Jets, it's like
they're so bad.
with the off week though, like they're in between games.
Like I feel their pain being a Giants fan. Man, are they bad? I don't even know where to start.
You got teams coming at them trying to buy all their assets.
Yeah.
Like the Steelers want to reunite with Bell, which I'm thinking of myself. I said this to you. I didn't say this to you, but you're the Steeler fan.
Yeah, well, I'll give my thought in a second.
I think Jalen Samuels is going to develop into somebody that could be maybe one notch below Le'Veon Bell. I like what I see out of him. I like this heavy involvement in the passing game. Le'Veon Bell used to be the pass catching down back there.
Mm-hmm.
But Le'Veon Bell,
Jalen Samuels, I think, is doing a better job than Bell was at.
And Samuels cannot run.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
So let's look at it this way.
But he's not a big guy like Connor,
right?
So you're different,
right? Yeah. So let's look at it this way, because from what I had read about, and I read an awful lot about the James Conner, Lev Bell, everything, was that the Steelers were intrigued and talking about Lev Bell until they realized the Conner injury wasn't that serious. That they realized that had just no Conner this week, and at worst case scenario, maybe no Conner one.
And then having Samuels help.
So once they said that, but you look at this game here against Indy, and Trey Edmonds was doing all the running. Samuels is just
76 yards.
Look, he's better than say Tariq Cohen as a runner, but he's not a great runner.
No,
Samuels, I think, is a complimentary back. I think it's still Connor's backfield moving forward when he comes back. However, I would prefer to see that backfield split closer to even. Conner, I think, prior to being injured, when he's in there, has like a 78% snap count, which is huge. It's insane. I'd like to see it more evened out. I'd like to see it more like 70-30, 65-35.
I feel like they want to do that too. They just Samuels was hurt, so now they got him back.
I think it keeps Conner fresh. I think he's still good. I think he's good NFL. I think he's good fantasy wise. He's still the number 13 overall running back in our standard league format with a PPR, and he has this week where he didn't even play. So, I think he's your guy going forward. And I think it says to me the Steelers think that too. Once they decided that they were out on Bell after they realized the Conner injury really wasn't significant. So,
you know what? I didn't read that. I'm glad you said that, because here I am. I'm feeling myself look like a fool. I know Edmonds did a lot of the running, but Jalen Samuels just kept throwing to him.
They did, and there's a few. I mean, but look at it this way too. And I have him in our league as a handcuff, and I hope to God that Fournette gets hurt. But look at Raquel Armstead this last week. He caught 5 balls for 65 or 6 for 55, something. Not a single carry, but he just got loose out of the backfield a little.
I need to add on to something.
Yeah,
because Joe was texting me all week. He was on tilt. I understood. And I kept saying to him over and over again, Joe, if you look at all the games, this is the week of the touchdown vultures. Every game had a vulture.
Oh, my God.
It was terrible.
Can
anybody name the 3 wide receivers or the 3 players that scored touchdowns for the Vikings?
Joe Ponte, Jeremy Johnston, and Brian Mosley.
One of them I just passed. One of them I just passed. His car was broken down, and I did not help him because he freaking made Diggs get 1 point, so I didn't help him.
Yeah, 2.6 fantasy points for Diggs this week. I think it was crazy. I still have him in 2 of my other leagues, and it was brutal. But yeah, it was definitely a touchdown vulture league. Cody Latimer taking his 1 catch for 1 yard for a touchdown, taking something away from Saquon or Evan Ingram there.
You know who else is on the vulture list?
Who's
the 3rd week? Foster Moreau.
Yeah, Foster Moreau.
Who is this guy?
He only catches touchdowns.
What position does he play? Defensive line?
No,
he's a tight end.
He's the blocking tight end, catching some balls there for Oakland. But look, it's kind of like Ebron last year. He was getting far less run. He was getting far fewer attempts. He just caught a lot of touchdowns. Now, Ebron obviously better than Foster Moreau, but just the beneficiary of being in the right place at the right time, kind of. And those big-bodied guys in the red zone.
I have another one.
So real quick for the Raiders, because the Raiders are relevant.
The Raiders are relevant,
for this, like, if I was a Raiders fan, I'd be excited. I mean, finally, you know what I mean? Finally, someone relevant.
You have a really good young running back in Josh Jacobs, a really good young tight end in Darren Waller. Tyrell isn't all that bad,
I feel like Gruden has got something here.
He's got something.
I will say this.
Is Gruden trying to maybe like showcase their
I want to
spread it around. Not showcase them, but I mean like try to spread it around. It looks like he's just telling them just throw to whoever.
Gruden's mentality is to run the shit out of you if he can.
Yeah.
If he can control the ground
It is,
game, that's
for
what
the
he
most
wants to do.
part,
But he knows you have to own up the offense. And he's actually made Derek Carr look like he did 3 years ago when they went to the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I mean, he looks more comfortable with like this new weapons he's getting used to. I mean, Tyrell is proven. And remember, this is the offense that's supposed to have Antonio Brown. Can you imagine how much dynamic would be with Antonio Brown there?
It'd be
I'm
pretty
not
sick.
positive.
But are we talking about if
I'd have to
he's
say-
there? Do we see the emergence of Darren Waller?
Look, I'm not. Antonio Brown is just. I don't even want to think about that. I don't even want to speculate.
Well, you just got to
Yeah,
remember
it's
talk
just
about
that-
him.
they were
he's such
supposed
a-
to have him as their number one.
Yeah, that complete head case. We don't even know what would have happened. We don't even
Yeah,
know if he'd
he's
have played
complete
because of a
head case.
helmet. Like I don't. No, I really don't.
I wouldn't have
really
been surprised if 1 week we hear a story out of practice that Vontaze Perfect did Antonio Brown dirty again and caused the CTE to double. And
Yeah,
get worse.
it's quite possible.
It's
very
The
possible.
only
It's the
thing,
truth.
look, I hate talking about him. The only,
'Cause he got
the only
lit up when he
question,
was
the
on
only
the
question that
Bengals.
I have
Oh
is
my
did he
God.
cost himself Hall of Fame? Did he cost himself the Hall of Fame by doing this madness?
Uh,
I mean, he
No.
freaking, I don't even know.
Was he there anyway, or was he just a stat guy? He never
Well,
went
the
to
thing
the
is,
Super Bowl.
but the thing is, the thing about the Hall of Fame that like doesn't. So for me, it is just a stat thing, right? Like T.O. should have never
Yeah.
ever not gotten
I
in the
don't
first
care
time.
enough about the NFL Hall of Fame, and it is harder to make it in than, say, baseball or basketball that tend to, I think, let more people in. Unless you're quarterbacks, they just
Yeah,
seem
basketball
to
lets
get
more
in
people in.
regardless. But yeah, I don't. I could care less about that. As a Steelers fan, as a football fan, I don't give half a shit about that. I care about him as just a player now, seeing if he can get back out there and seeing if he can right this crazy ass ship one day.
I mean, yeah. Like I get back to my point with the Raiders. I was got off track. I was a little more. I thought Tyrell was going to be an effective weapon in that offense. Didn't expect him to be the number one,
Yeah.
but he's actually done okay.
Yeah, he has. I think they need a number 2 receiver still there.
And I think there's one emerging.
Please don't tell me Hunter Renfro. Don't
I'm going
do
to tell
that.
you why I believe Hunter Renfro. You got to remember something. Who threw to Hunter Renfro in college?
Deshaun Watson.
Yes.
You are correct.
Sorry.
He's already played with the
Deshaun
best.
Watson. As in Deshaun, the person that everybody passed up on, and the Bears picked Mitchell
No,
Untrubisky.
I have no interest in Hunter
Untrubisky.
Renfro whatsoever. I don't see it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll eat crow on this one. But no
You don't
thanks.
think it's going to be Zay Jones now, do you?
No, I don't think they have their number 2. I don't think they have their number 1. I don't think it's Tyrell. I think this is a
Bears-
team that in the
I
offense.
still-
It's not
the
I'll get over the
I
fact
think
that
this
the
is a
Bears
team in the
picked
offseason that
Trubisky
needs
at
to go
number
get
2.
another one. I think that they also need to be passing the ball a little bit more to Josh Jacobs. I don't understand this. For a guy they're utilizing so much, and they're going to say Jalen Richard or whatever, who is just he's not even that good of a he has steady hands, but he doesn't make amazing
He's
plays.
a backup scat back.
I want to say
Yeah.
one thing. If they didn't, if the
He's a backup
Raiders,
scat back.
if the Raiders needed to draft a wide receiver, they would have done it in the second round last year because they were expecting to go.
Well, they
with
were
Antonio
expecting to have
Brown.
exactly. So,
Right,
but
right.
they're going to probably
I
get
think
one
they're
this
going to
year.
take one
I think
now,
they're
or I
going to
think
take
they'll
one
make
this
a
year.
move for one, make a
Well, I'm
push
saying
in
they
the
could have had a
offseason,
guy.
something.
They could have had a guy like AJ Brown or even DK Metcalf.
Sure,
if they needed to
Hollywood
address
Brown.
it.
Well, Hollywood went in the first round, but
Metcalf
they,
would have been sweet there.
Right. well, but they didn't feel they had to address it at the time
Yeah.
because you
I know
thought
it's a timing thing. That's the point
Yeah.
I'm making here.
but
Because he
Now
could be
you
your
have
number
to.
one. He's capable
Yeah.
of being number one.
yeah, but they
I don't
Tyrell
think-
could be your number 2.
Yeah, he's only number 2. Tyrell's not a number 1.
Well, I think the thing is that because he's like a Marvin Jones type of player, he's going to
Yeah.
get open down the field. He
He's
can
a-
have monstrous
He's a
games.
wide receiver 2 on a team.
But yeah, he's not a guy that's
If
going to.
that.
He's your deep threat option. He's a big, huge body, but he's not.
Marvin Jones has never been a number 1.
No. He's not like some of those other big,
But
huge body guys that
some
can be
guys
number
make a
ones,
living off not being the number 1. They'd be there the number 2 or the number
Mohamed
3.
Sanu,
Yeah,
Marvin Jones,
Yeah,
all
it's
both
not-
played behind
yeah.
AJ Green.
it's not a knock on Tyrell whatsoever.
No,
I think
it
he's
isn't.
very
Some guys-
good. I think
that's
he,
some-
yeah,
that's-
it's
that's
just
some
yeah.
guys' MO.
Thing
Yep.
is, some guys have presence in number 1 receivers, and you know what it reminds me of? It's the situation in Buffalo. They don't have a true number 1.
No, they don't. No,
They have 2 guys that are 1 and 2 They're complementary to each other, but
Yeah.
they're actually having good, productive years.
Right, yeah. Beasley,
I didn't expect this out of Cole Beasley.
Yeah, Beasley has been. I drafted him in one league. Almost took him in another one late. He's solid.
I dropped him because I had John Brown. I
Yeah.
thought
I think me and you did some dusty trade for like
Chris Thompson.
Some absolute.
And I released the wrong fucking guy. I'm like, Duke Williams is gonna blow up. No.
Oh, talking about Chris Thompson now. They just put their other guy down on. They cut him from the 53 man to make room for Geist today.
Yeah, so he's
Thompson still hurts. It sounds like Geist will be back.
It sounds like Thompson is good enough to dust off.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, if he comes back, he's worth a stash. I mean, he's still in PPR leagues, nothing but PPR leagues.
Can I get Cole Beasley back?
I don't have Cole Beasley. I didn't scoop him up.
Well, we're going to talk about, on a much lighter note, we're going to talk about running backs. Devin Singletary has officially won the job.
Yeah, yeah.
We knew it was coming. It was just a matter of when.
It was the plan. It was the plan the whole time.
Yeah, that's what I figured was the plan.
Yeah, Devin Singletary.
It was a matter of when.
I still got love for my. I'm just gonna say Happy Veterans Day to Frank Gore.
Yeah,
he's not a real veteran, but he's a veteran in the NFL.
But
he's the GOAT.
But why rush Singletary back? Why do anything crazy when you have Gore there? You have something reliable. He's more than serviceable.
And he did
Singletary
very well.
is your future. You take your time. You ease him back into it, and now you let him have the reins to the backfield. Gore can still come in there. Like, this is not a guy who's dead. He's still going to have 7, 8, 10 carries a game. But yeah, it is Singletary's back. Absolutely.
He will be my handcuff for the playoffs.
Let's get on the path here. What do we got?
Well, I mean,
we're going to be able to skip a lot of things here. I think we're kind of just covering Week 9 in general right now.
Well, pretty much we cover Week 9 in general anyway.
Yeah.
We're just going off.
What was your favorite game? What was your favorite game?
Go ahead. Yeah.
What was my favorite game of this?
Not even like, we're not even talking just as a fan, your favorite game to watch.
Either Tampa Bay Seattle or Steelers Indy. I thought they were both really good games.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say both of those.
I mean, it stinks that Brissett gets injured there. Obviously, he killed me in fantasy too with that injury. But really good, hard-fought game. Brian Hoyer coming in, still being serviceable.
It doesn't sound serious for Brissett.
No, it doesn't sound serious. I think
if he doesn't play this week, he'll be back the next week.
Well, they're on bye this week against the Dolphins.
So there's a chance he doesn't play.
You don't need Brissett for that.
No, you don't.
Brian Hoyer was somehow serviceable.
Yeah, and I think he could be a good streaming option if Brissett is out. But I think they'll get Brissett back if they want to. Yeah, they look good. Obviously, being a Steelers fan, watching them get a hard-fought win against an Indy team that's been very good this year.
They're just a good team.
Yeah, and then the Seattle and Tampa Bay game was just awesome. Nobody stopping Mike Evans. Nobody stopping anybody. Wilson. Yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch.
It was a fantasy paradise.
Yeah,
all the starters hit
Russ Wilson.
Yeah, that is a jackpot. Those are those jackpot games that you just want to be like.
Everybody except Godwin.
Godwin was your one. Yeah, Carson was not bad, but I don't know. He wasn't fantasy gold. He was like fantasy silver.
Yeah,
and we predicted that because somehow the Tampa Bay Bucks can stop the run.
I will say this though too. Remember I was discussing vultures earlier?
Yeah,
there was 2 in that game. The first one was Brashad Perriman.
Yeah, Brashad Perriman. I know.
That is a vulture.
Former Ravens.
No, that is an ultimate vulture because that guy doesn't even exist on the map anywhere.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
He was a first-round pick that never
got
on the
Like he really had a few catches.
Well,
he was not.
I know they're trying to include him as a number 3, and he's actually got a decent amount of looks, but not enough to be relevant. But
I think J.D. McKissick, and not McKissick.
J.D. McKissick would have been expected.
Yeah, wrong one. Yeah, no, the other dude there.
What team?
Seattle.
Jacob Hollister.
Tight end. There we go. Yeah.
I gotta wonder. Well, the thing is, I was wondering if he'd have some more looks throughout, like the red zone and whatnot. But you got Josh Gordon coming. You're not going to take targets away from Metcalf, and you're not taking them away from Lockett.
Metcalf is their red zone target. He's their big red zone target. He'll continue to be without any real tight end presence there. DK Metcalf
is anyone as impressed as I am with Tyler Lockett? Did anybody think that he would be? Did you guys think he would become that good?
He doesn't drop balls.
Tyler Lockett, did you ever think he would become this good?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, he catches everything that is thrown at him, and it is impressive.
I've been watching him play a lot the last few years. Like, I wanted to take him this year.
Yeah, he's been amazing. He had 19 targets. He had 19. Some quarterbacks don't even throw 19 times. He had 19 targets. Unbelievable.
Here's the thing. Tyler Lockett can line up outside. Tyler Lockett can line up in the slot, and he can be effective, and he's speedy, and he can get downfield.
Well, again, it's he is. But he just catches everything that's thrown his way.
He has great hands.
He caught
amazing.
He had
amazing
19 targets. He got 13 balls.
Yeah,
he's 40 points. He had 40
really,
fantasy points.
Yeah,
he's a really
insane.
great player.
Yeah, and then Metcalf's still having a big day too.
Tyler Lockett is getting some Cooper Kupp type of numbers,
which is crazy because that was who I was taking. If Kupp got drafted in front of Tyler Lockett, I was getting one of them.
It's crazy. They're both very similar and very productive.
Okay, so I took those 2 games. Did you have another one that you really enjoyed this week, Joe, or one you thought fantasy goodness surprised you? Something?
So I like those 2, but my favorite has to be the Broncos beating the Browns because it feels so freaking good to be right about something.
Yeah.
Baker's over there. Look at him in the trash.
You can't see it, but there is a trash can over there. I just don't want to move this camera because, Yeah,
that was fun to watch because, like, I believe there was some weird stat, like, the Browns have lost to 5 straight first-time starters. Who the fuck is, excuse my lane? No, fuck it. Who the hell is fucking Brandon Allen? Is that what the quarterback was?
Brandon Allen, yeah. We talked about him the other week out of Arkansas.
He was actually bagging his groceries at Stop and Shop.
What the hell? I'm like, Freddie Kitchens is so dust right now, dude. He doesn't stand 1% chance of staying as a coach there. Like,
yeah.
So that was my favorite because it wasn't like a necessarily amazing game to watch, but it's fun to watch them struggle because they were on the high horse. They're full of themselves, you know. In the NFL, can't be full of yourself.
I want to chime in here because you know what's going to happen with them this week? They're going to fucking win because they're playing a team that leaves every bad team known to man in every game. I watched the game against Washington. Well, actually, if you guys want to chime in on your opinion of this or what you think,
I know where you're going.
I don't know what
I'm supposed to
go
saying
with
first.
Well, first off, I'm split. I was about to say, you're a team. Now you can't stop the run. You're Buffalo. You got Singletary working on. He's going to be an electric playmaker. Josh Allen did not turn the ball over. He got better, and he's still got a scrambling threat. I'm under the impression that either they're sloppy and they've improved and turned the corner, and on top of that, this is 2 weeks in a row. Washington's defense has actually played pretty stout. Last week it was impressive against Minnesota.
Yeah.
And now they did against Buffalo, but is this a scary thing for Buffalo, knowing that they're vulnerable because their stretch can knock them out of the playoffs?
I think the Bills are very vulnerable. I don't think they're as good as their record says. They're 6-2. I don't believe they're 6-2.
I mean, they did play New England, held them to 10 on offense because 6 was given up by special teams.
It really
seems like their defense has deteriorated a little bit. I don't know. There's any injuries in their defense? They don't seem to. Those first few weeks are dominant. They're not dominant anymore.
They're not stopping the run.
Yeah.
No, I think it just speaks to the fact about a point of hammer home, and I don't want to beat it into the ground, although I guess I will. There's a lot of parity in the NFL. You know, we're talking about teams that at their worst are 2-touchdown underdogs to teams for the most part. Like, that's not. We look at college spreads weekly where there's 20 teams that get 30 or more points. Like, there is parity here. And even the bad teams are going to catch a break. And Washington, for whatever reason, thinks they're better than they are, closer than they are. So I feel like this is a team that's not going to give up. Like, they had that one win against Miami. But, yeah, I think they're going to continue to try. Yeah, I don't think Buffalo's in trouble. I think they win this game. But, yeah, I think Washington makes it close. I think they try. We'll see if Geis is back this week.
They're playing Cleveland this week.
Yeah, this game already happened.
Yeah.
He's talking about
I'm sorry. Yeah. But no,
he was breaking down the game.
We're talking about Washington. Ever since Callahan decided to run the ball more,
Washington beats Cleveland this week.
Washington's not playing Cleveland.
What are we getting in on?
Buffalo's playing Cleveland in Cleveland.
Yo, my dude
I hate all these teams.
My dude was breaking down a game and giving analysis on a game that already happened. This guy's a man. It's Buffalo Cleveland. That's what
I thought I was getting at.
No, Buffalo's not in trouble. Cleveland sucks.
Cleveland does
definitely
suck.
one of the
dustiest. The thing is, this is the type of game Buffalo typically loses.
Yeah.
It is, but
they are no better than the Jets.
We watched that stupid game 2 weeks ago. That damn Washington game where they had. It's Miami. Yeah, the Bills are in a little bit of trouble, but Cleveland.
I just think they're vulnerable, but they should be able to beat the Browns. The Browns are just a bad team.
I would hope so.
They're just a bad team.
It's just the Bills. You got to remember, the Bills almost let the Bengals beat them. They almost let the fucking dumpster fire.
That just
Jets
goes back to
beat
Jeremy's point that there's a lot of
Yeah,
parity.
I mean, look-
Any given day, we already talked about the Chargers and the Packers.
The Jets one win against the Cowboys team that only has wins against crappy teams. When we look at it, the Redskins, the Dolphins, the Giants, nobody
twice.
great. Yeah, and now you look at it and you can say, okay, well, the only team to beat the Jets is the Dolphins. You know, there's parity, especially there's parity at the bottom, there's parity at the top, and there's a huge field in between.
All right.
You know, it's
If
crazy.
we were to speak about Dallas now, I'm gonna throw you a curveball here. Are Dallas a more dangerous team than Philly if Dallas beats the Vikings this week?
No, I think there's
The Vikings are a tough test.
This
I
game
think,
is in,
the Vikings
is that game
are a
in
tough
Minnesota?
test. I
The
just think
game is in Dallas.
they're a team that's
I don't
still
care.
in,
I love the Vikings.
they're a team that's still in flux. Dallas just they have an identity, but it's not a great one. I don't feel confident in them. You know, I don't. They had a big win against the Giants this week. They were down early, pulled away late, but it wasn't
Simply because
anything.
a goddamn black cat walked through. We just have bad luck, you know.
Hey, can I adopt that cat?
You
by
know
the
what I
way?
mean?
Sure.
Why? So why would you want a black cat walking around? This is not good.
The highlight of the game was the play-by-play call.
My ex-
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's play by play call. I like that.
The cat slowly gets to the 3-yard line. He
My-
moves to the 2.
My
To the
ex has a black cat.
Touchdown!
That thing is my favorite cat of all time. I can't lie. It was black and always meow when I was in the room.
But how about
I
all
always
the
fuck
how
with
about
it.
all the people in the stands though? How about all those?
So I think
I'll just say weenies because I don't want to say the other word right now. All those weenies in the stand that go running for their lives when a cat jumped in there, like, oh my god! I thought that was great. That whole thing.
Did
was
they
amazing.
ever? What did they ever do? They find
They
the
wound
cat?
up being able to usher it out like into the tunnel. I don't know what happened, but the funny thing is the guard's like pointing at the cat, like the cat's gonna fucking listen to it. I love it. Go this way, kitty. Go this way. Like, really? This cat just held your game hostage for 10 minutes. It doesn't give a fuck about where you're pointing, you know? But
I can't get onto the field.
and speaking about not
Dude,
caring about
my conspiracy was that the Cowboys, you know, Cowboys fans.
yeah.
They're very emotional. They're very like stupid.
So they're like Giants
They're
and
the-
Jets fans.
they're very-
Sorry, no offense.
Oh, they're delusional.
You ever
They're
listen to
delusional.
do you ever listen to the fan? Giants and Jets fans are delusional
They're
too.
we're pretty delusional. But I mean, we've won in the past few,
Yeah.
you know, whatever. We got
Yeah.
some chips or whatever. So the Cowboys fan came in with the cat, he had it in his coat. The Giants got up a little bit in the beginning. He said, "It's time."
Yeah.
And you let him out.
Yeah,
You let him out.
but you're also talking about, you know what I thought was weird? You get that win, right?
Mhm.
Zeke didn't have a single target at the pass game. I found that really weird. I think he toted the rock like 22-ish times for 140 yards thereabouts. Don't quote me, but those are close numbers.
Trying to preserve his workload because they're going to need him to catch
I
passes this
don't,
week.
right,
Let me tell you-
right, but why did not a single one? I mean, and I felt for a game that was close for a long while. Like Tony Pollard came in and got few. They had a few dump offs, a lot short to both. Well, no, Jarwin had the big 42-yarder, but to Blake to Witten, to Jason Witten, I didn't understand his total lack of presence in the pass game.
If your question is, do I believe in the Cowboys? We've already talked about the top teams, you know? And
No.
I don't. I don't
No.
believe it.
You know, like, are they going to be okay? They're going to be okay. They're not going to be able to compete with the Niners and these top teams.
They're only pass. They're only.
You don't like them this
I would
week.
love like, so let's say Dallas somehow wins the division and they get to host a playoff game.
They're hosting the Vikings, the Packers, or the NFC
Put it in the
West.
book.
Yeah.
I will take whatever team is going there. Like if
Yeah.
it's the Vikings, Seahawks, any of those teams, I'll take any of those
Yeah.
teams going in there.
Yeah, I happen to. I just don't. And their only path to making a playoff is winning that division, and it's not a division that instills fear.
No,
not
at all.
Not at all.
Not by any,
Yeah.
not by any means. I actually think the Eagles are going to win that division,
Right. Okay, that's fine. But
and
we
they
got-
don't instill any fear
But
either.
we're talking about the Eagles, the Cowboys.
I do.
I know you're a Giants fan, but we're not. Do you have faith in them? Do you
No,
have any-
not at all.
The
Not at all.
Redskins are already out of it. The
Yeah.
only thing they're fighting for is the potential at the last pick.
Yeah, no.
You know,
I don't
for the
believe.
first
I don't
pick.
believe that either of those teams is making any kind of run.
No.
Whoever wins the division, they'll get lucky, host a game, they'll
Yeah.
lose.
Yeah, it's a bad division. You know, it's a horrible division overall, and we'll see. The Eagles have had a lot of injuries. Deshaun Jackson looks like, did he go on IR, or were they talking about him
6
to
weeks.
IR
They
They
today?
said
6 weeks,
but I'm
okay.
pretty sure he's done. Though. It feels like he's not going to be coming back.
Yeah. So I don't think he's back. He's been trying to fight
That's-
through this, and it's just
and
not
that's
getting
a
done.
Core
shame,
injuries are like
too.
the worst.
Another guy in the division, another receiver, Shepard, sounds like he could be going to the IR. Like
Yeah.
it's just
There's
crazy.
been a lot
you
of
know?
injuries.
Schumer coming out saying like this is really bad, so we're going to
Yeah.
take it serious. That's a scary thing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I hope for his sake he gets better because he's a good
Yeah.
dude.
But we're,
I'm sorry. The
No,
thing
go
that kills me about the Deshaun Jackson is, you know how happy they were to have him back. You know how happy he was to be back.
He's a big part of their offense.
And he had a great first game.
Yeah.
He was an instant contributor. Now they
Yeah.
pretty much don't have that.
Yep.
And I think with him in the lineup, they're a better team.
Yeah,
They
from
are.
a football and
Especially
a fantasy
offensively,
perspective, I
absolutely.
think it's both ways. It really helps that team out.
Yeah, and I mean, you look at like they lost Devontae Maddox.
Yep.
Like they've had injuries.
Oh
on defense.
yeah. Those two guys
Their
are
defense.
I
if
feel
all
like they're.
starters are
I feel like
healthy,
they're about
is
to reach
good.
out to you. Have you seen that? You saw the video when the guy was catching the baby or whatever. He's
Yeah.
like, shout out to. They're about to call that dude and put him on the line.
Yeah.
Forget Aguilar.
Yeah.
Aguilar is stone hands.
Yeah.
I mean, it sucks to have him out there.
8
Yeah.
targets, only 3 catches.
Yeah,
They're still
pretty
giving him a
crazy. Yeah,
chance.
he's there. He's a thing. Maybe
Well,
they'll try to get it right on bye this
do
week.
you-
We'll see.
Do you see?
I just don't believe that he's a good receiver. It just sucks.
Here's the thing.
He
You know that
sucks.
trade I did for Melvin Gordon?
Yeah,
The reason I had him put Aguilar in there is because him and Crowder are 2 guys. I want to see what goes on in the second half because it's apparent to me Crowder gets more targets than
I
we
feel like
realize.
you could have got. I feel
Crowder
like,
gets
I
a
feel
ton
like
of
you
catches,
coulda
but
maybe got
Aguilar just
some
doesn't
more.
catch anything. I have no interest
I
in
feel like
playing
you might have
Aguilar
been able
ever.
to get Marvin
I'm going to leave
Jones or
Aguilar on
something
my
in that
bench,
trade.
but if he
Yeah.
blows up,
I feel like
You know
that.
what I mean?
Yeah,
Why
I
not?
drop
feel like
him and
that
pick
dude was
somebody up
mega.
personally,
I
but
feel like you could have probably got that dude. He was desperate for a trade.
yeah,
he's only 2 games out. He's not out of it.
no, he's definitely not out of it. So
I don't know how you didn't ask me for a QB.
He's
Because
Yeah.
got a lot of
it's a big
dusty.
I
game.
didn't
It's a
realize
big
I had
game
3.
between my league, me and him this week.
Oh, you got him this week.
I hope, yeah, it's a big one. I need Connor back healthy and a couple other things. See about Brissett, but
Yeah, that is a big game, right?
yeah,
I played in it.
and they're playing against Miami too, so that's a game I'm really hoping Brissett is there for. We will have to see. All right, do we have anything else specific we're talking about for the rest of week 9 here?
I think we covered all the bases, right? We pretty much
I would think
discussed
so.
how we all feel about where we're at with week 9, and
Yeah.
we didn't even mention how sapless the Jets are.
Yeah,
No need to. No need
Nope.
to.
no,
I don't-
that's a tough.
They actually, in my opinion, should have been offering. They should have done a fire sale because they are a fire sale of a team. They should have.
Well, I
fire
think the
sale some
problem
of
is
guys.
is that they had that thought early is like, well, we're going to get Darnold back and we're going to be okay, and clearly that didn't come to fruition. So they weren't ready to fire sale it off because they thought if we could just weather this storm
Mhm.
for a few weeks, and then they didn't realize they'd be running into the Miami Dolphins and plans change. So
I mean,
I think the games
trying to
are
off
weird.
Jamal Adams
Yeah.
behind his back. That's not good.
Dolphins couple more Mark Walton now going to be out for at least 4 weeks with this substance abuse thing. You know,
So who's going to be the
Yeah.
running back?
Kalen
Kalen
Balazs. Kalen Balazs.
I think I've seen his stats, and he averaged like 0.1 yards.
Yeah,
a carry or
it's
something.
not much. It's nothing to. And then didn't they lose someone else too? Was it
I traded Kenny.
Yeah. Preston Williams?
Yeah, they lost.
He's
him for the
out.
season.
Yeah, he's on IR for the
Williams,
season.
IR.
That would be a guy that I would try to pick up in a
Yeah.
dynasty league or something. or try
Yeah,
to
it
stash
doesn't
him.
matter because he's going to be done for the year too. But Cam Newton on IR, you weren't starting him obviously because he's been out for a
Mhm.
while. But if you did have
A lot
him in
of
an IR
injuries.
spot
A
or
lot of
anywhere or
injuries.
holding on to him for anything,
We talked a few weeks ago about a decision.
Yeah.
But there's no decision anymore. Obviously,
Yep.
just going to roll with Kyle.
yeah.
Kyle
Okay.
Allen's done a good job. Listen, I don't
Yeah,
care who
yeah,
you
yeah.
are.
I mean, he's done as good as he
Yeah, he's
could.
serviceable.
I guess he's
Yeah.
serviceable. He's serviceable.
Yeah,
I mean, he's
2
smart.
touchdowns a
He's
game.
smart. If I'm him, I'm not a great quarterback. I'm just going to dump it off to the best running back
Look,
that in the league.
He's got one more quarterback job in the NFL than Gardner Minshew does right now. So.
Yeah,
That
the sting.
I
Rest in peace to Gardner Minshew's
It had-
2019 season. He had a good year, man.
It had
I
to
like
happen.
it. Of course, it
Foles
did.
never lost the job. Minshew started well, but hasn't performed amazingly. And now it culminates with this butt whooping where you score
Yeah.
3 points, whether it's in London or not.
I
know,
have
That
to-
culminated it.
I
So,
have
is
to-
there
yeah.
any chance? Do you think that if they won that game, that there was a decision?
There was absolutely a
No.
decision.
No. So
Yes.
the decision was made. You think before that?
Yes.
It was like we're going back to Foles no matter
I
what.
honestly think the decision was made pretty much when Foles got hurt. I don't think this team was ever Gardner Minshew's. I really don't. You don't pay that money. You don't get this guy into a guy that you think is a winner to just have him not even play. Like I don't. Not.
I agree.
You
Because
don't.
they paid him a lot.
Yeah, I don't
He
think
is a
this was
winner.
ever not his team.
He is a winner.
Yeah.
Nick Foles.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And I've
the
been
real
for
question
Alshon
is,
Jeffrey.
does Saint Nick
Yeah.
Foles come
They're
back
in
and
LA
lead,
playing for the team.
does he come back and lead them to the
Yeah.
playoffs?
Does this rally them? Yeah. This could be a rally cry.
Because
for
what
this
does he
team,
do best?
you know?
He comes off the bench and he leads to the promised land. I mean, that's what
Well,
he
A
does.
he's
lot
not
of
really
people
off
think-
the
here's the thing.
bench, but
Well, I'm just saying, coming back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I read articles. I listened to what people were saying about the game, like post game about that game. A lot of people thought if Nick Foles was in that game against the Saints and not
Yeah.
Gardner Minshew,
Yeah.
they find a way to win.
Yeah.
And I agree.
Yeah, they might very well have. Yeah, look, and I don't even think that this is a situation where Minshew is getting benched, as opposed to this is just Foles is their starter. He was their starter. He was the plan to be their starter, and that was it. You know. So yeah, I don't even know that this is Minshew being benched. I think this is just Foles is the guy.
But last point on this, and then I want to preview week 10.
Absolutely.
With this, was it an 8-game audition that he had?
8 games. Yeah.
Did he do enough to show that he could start somewhere in the league next year? Or is it career backup? I mean,
Look, any player is an injury away from becoming something special, becoming whatever it is. An NFL backup is a very valuable role, but no, I don't think he's anything more than a backup. Maybe he could be a journeyman starter.
he's
Ryan
young.
Fitzpatrick type of. He is young, but there's a reason that Drew Lock got picked ahead of him. There's a reason Haskins got picked ahead of him. There's a reason a lot of these guys got picked.
Size.
Yeah, and, he does not have that. So I think
Well,
he's
same thing with Tom
yeah,
Brady, 6th round, and look what he's
it
turned
does
into.
happen. It does happen. But trying to catch that sort of lightning in a bottle is like trying to get the road team to win all 7 games in the World Series. It's once in a lifetime.
It's not gonna.
That was the most.
It's
That
a
was
very valid point.
Yeah.
that is a valid point.
But I was just discussing this with Joe. He might be one of the 5 or 6 guys for teams that need a quarterback.
Yeah.
They will look at because you got him, Teddy Bridgewater. Who else did we mention? We had this discussion. They're all 3 to 5 guys with decisions to make.
And you
And
so
you got the Bears going to do something with Trubisky. You got Roethlisberger. Don't know what's going to happen there.
right.
You don't know how much longer
What
Brady's
about,
going to
what
go.
about Cam Newton?
And Phillip
I don't know
Rivers.
what's going to happen.
Yeah.
with
Phillip
Cam Newton.
Rivers and Cam Newton.
And I think there is going to be a huge fight over Teddy Bridgewater. A huge fight. Yes,
As
he's
there
on the
should, because
Saints,
he's a winner.
but he never really he got hurt with the Vikings, just didn't have the chance to really do it
Is it
there.
like
You know,
You know,
he's- I'm
you know who I'm going to tell
Teddy
you.
B.
I'm
I
going to tell you
love
right
Teddy
now.
too, though. That's my man.
I already know where he's going to go next year. in my
Pittsburgh
opinion.
Steelers.
Yes,
I agree.
120%.
I
Who,
have
Teddy
to
Two Gloves?
agree. Yeah,
Yes.
I think so.
I
I
would
think it's a
love to
good.
see him
I
with
think that'd be.
Tomlin. I would
I
love
think
to see
I
him
would
there.
like to too. You give Roethlisberger one more season, let him come back, play it out. But yes, I think Teddy Bridgewater winds up in Pittsburgh. That's
I would
what
love to
think.
see him get the chance to be the
They
guy.
have a little
Because
bit
I
of
think that he
yeah.
could be the guy. You
Yeah,
know,
they
he's
have
never
a little
going to
bit
be
of
like.
salary cap this year. They're not going to have to pay a first rounder because you already got Minka. So I think you go out. I think you throw a contract at
And
Teddy
how good
B.
does that trade look right now?
Yeah,
that
well, it
trade
looks
looks
amazing.
really good.
It looks like he could be a
It's funny
defensive-
because I don't know if I wonder if I said
Look,
it on
he's
the
a
show.
defensive player of the year.
I thought it was a
candidate.
terrible
Him-
trade at the
Him
time.
and Bud Dupree are both been amazing. And for the Steelers to come back the way they are right now, where it looks like the Dolphins are only going to get like maybe a pick around 15 to 20-ish, yeah.
And they when they made that trade,
They're
probably-
hoping that they're getting a
thinking,
top
we're getting
10
a top
pick.
5
And-
pick, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah, you're hoping for a top 5, top 10, but,
It doesn't look that way right now.
no, certainly does not.
All right. It's pretty good, guys.
Yeah.
Very, very nice flow there. Right?
Yeah, I like the just going around instead of each game individually.
That's how we just freestyle it and cover
Yeah.
all the bases.
Yep.
Now, you ready for this week? Week 10.
Certainly, yeah.
All right. My favorite segment.
Good.
We're going to make our game picks here.
Not bad at this.
All right. We'll go Thursday night. A now relevant matchup in the AFC West. We had the LA Chargers visiting the Oakland Raiders. Opening line, Raiders -2.5. Closing line, Chargers -1. The over/under is 48.5. I'm going to go here with a theory here that you guys have heard before, and I want you guys to emphasize if the kid's full of shit or not when he says this. Now, an unnamed gentleman, who you could probably figure out who it is just because you should know, said to me, and I can try to do the voice that he says in it. He's like, if somebody opens as a favorite and then they become an underdog, you fire the guy that opened at the favorite. And it comes true about 90% of the time.
I don't know who it is, but
Yeah, that was Max.
okay. So I would
That's what he tells me about betting.
I would never
He's
take
always
advice from
his
Max
favorites.
on anything.
Yeah.
Even if it was as simple as pizza. If he told me that this pizza tastes good, I'm probably gonna take the other pizza.
This strikes me really as weird. I find it a massive overcorrection for the Chargers getting that win over Green Bay for a team that's found a way to lose a lot. For a Raiders team that's looked pretty good, I'm very comfortable here taking the Raiders and that point at home. And I think that this is a line that come game time, the Vegas Sharps wind up betting this game closer to where it's Raiders -1 or a pick 'em as opposed to the Chargers favorites. I fully expect this line to correct itself a little bit. Could be a lot of just house money on the Chargers right now, propping this up.
Because
This game is in Oakland, correct?
The game is in Oakland.
Yeah,
Um,
the Sharps are going to bet this back the other way. That's my belief.
I mean, Oakland played pretty well.
So all of a sudden,
Oakland's been solid.
all
They're
of
in
a sudden,
good
this
team.
game is
They had a-
relevant.
they had a
This
whole
game-
game
The
of 2 points
Chargers
for last
haven't. The
week.
Chargers haven't looked all that good this year. And before this, we're talking about that pretty bad home loss to the Steelers, where they didn't look all that good. They kind of made it close late.
But they did. I mean, anyway, you look at it, they did manage to squeak one in out against the Bears.
They did, and a Bears team that we feel, I would
Played
assume
tough.
the three of us all think are reeling quite a bit right
Oh,
now.
they're not really.
The Raiders
are on
made
my
the Bears
dust
their
squad
bitch
team.
too in Oakland too.
The Bears are officially
The Bears
welcome
are
to
another
dust
team
squad.
that's going to be one. Remember that list
Yeah.
of guys again?
They're on the dust. They're officially on my list.
They're on the
They're on my
cusp.
list.
They're on the cusp for me, but that's only because the trash can's full right now.
The trash can is
They're on-
overfull.
They're on the lid.
The trash can is
they're on the-
overfull.
they're on
Who's the
the
GM
lid.
there? Ryan Pace?
I believe so.
He has to go to bed every night thinking, I
God.
traded up one pick and I could have waited
Yeah, for
because I
Deshaun
could have had
Watson.
Deshaun
Yeah.
Watson
You
or
know, it's-
Patrick Mahomes.
Or
I feel
how
like-
about this? Or how about anybody else?
I
How
feel
about
like-
anybody but Trubisky?
I feel
How
like
about
if
that?
you're an NFL GM, though, you can't look at that stuff. You have to move forward. That's why you're paid these big bucks, is to not sit there and worry about that. You have who you have, and you move forward. Trubisky clearly isn't the guy. The Bears clearly have to rebuild. And if they have anything to hang their hats on right now, it's the fact that if they actually involve David Montgomery, he's a pretty damn good running back.
He is. I'm
And
And
surprised
Allen
at how they
Robinson
haven't.
would be a stud if he had a serviceable quarterback.
Yeah. So at this point, I would literally just say I have to like bring him in. Come on, Trubisky, come take
Yeah.
a seat.
Yeah.
We're done. Like it's over.
Yeah, but
we gotta
there's no
break
better
up.
option. Well, yeah, after the season.
Yeah, we
but
gotta
for right
break
now,
up,
there's
like-
no better option.
I don't even know what they
Traded
saw.
for the Central.
So
Yeah.
you guys, I don't know if you guys watch college. I don't really watch a lot of college football, but I sometimes do watch some college football, and
Yeah.
I watch like the highlights before when I like watching the combine. I was
Uh-huh.
watching all that stuff. I didn't see anything in the universe that would tell me that I would pick Trubisky at number 2. Nothing. Then what I
Yeah.
saw was Watson should have been like the number 1 pick. Like
It
it
was
amazing.
it was a little surprising. Trubisky kind of came out of nowhere. A guy who moved colleges as well. It surprised me. There's always a few guys that surprise me with stuff like that, moving up or down the draft. I'm really shocked this year that Justin Herbert's stock has seemed to drop at quarterback.
Well, here's the thing. I
If
gotta
I'm drafting, he's my number 1 quarterback
Absolutely.
personally.
Listen,
It's
I
between him
don't
and
know
Tua. I like
what
him
everybody sees in Tua. I'm not impressed with Tua. I'm sorry.
He's not a bad quarterback. I like
He's a
Tua.
good
I think he
college
can be
quarterback.
serviceable.
He's
I
a good
think
college
I know I use that word a lot, but I guess I use that as a guy that I feel like is a quarterback that falls somewhere between, say, number 10 and number 25, like a guy who can be a starting quarterback, but is not
talking about
elite.
Tua?
He's not a trash can. Yes, I think Tua is like right there in that mid-range. I don't think he's got star written on him, but I think he's got.
He
I
should
can
Did the
be
be.
number
Dolphins
one overall.
did the Dolphins not want Tua, so they said we're going to win some games because they
I
have
will-
another chance to win another
I
game,
will
don't
say
they?
that I am biased. I am a fan of bigger quarterbacks. I am a fan of strong arm guys. I am a fan of accurate guys. I feel like Herbert has all of those in Oregon. And I just don't know if it's bad losses there or what it is. Not like getting blown out.
I'm
but
sorry.
Just,
I'm sorry. I have to corral us back.
Yeah,
in.
sorry,
We got
sorry.
completely off the
Yeah.
fucking point.
Yeah,
there.
I
Holy
love college
shit.
football. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I just
I didn't
want-
know you like college.
Sorry,
I didn't know
I love
that.
college
I didn't
football.
know
I
that.
knew
That's
that.
my
I
fault.
knew
That's
that.
my fault.
Holy shit.
All right, I didn't even get to make my pick.
Let's restart here. So we're at the Chargers, at the Raiders. Chargers are currently 1-point favorites. The over/under is 40.5. And I asked you guys a question.
Did you make your pick?
No, I was letting him finish. up.
Raiders and over.
Raiders and over.
So let's
You were
see.
going contrary to what I did. The thing I mentioned.
Yeah.
Max told us.
Yeah.
I'm just happy that it's a relevant Thursday night game because sometimes they got some dust ball games on Thursday night. This would look like a dust ball a few weeks ago.
Right.
But like now, all of a sudden, the Raiders have played well, and now maybe the Chargers woke up. I don't know. It's hard to tell. I feel like the Packers just went in there and slept block. That was it. I like the Raiders, and I like the over, and I like Josh Jacobs a lot.
I like the Raiders in this game as well. I expect it to be a high-scoring affair. I always like to give score.
Quick fantasy, fantasy. Who you got? What do you got in that game?
Your regular guys, Melvin Gordon, Eckler if you have to start him, but I don't like him. Hunter Henry,
No.
Tyrell.
Both tight ends. I like both tight ends.
Yes.
Yeah, Waller. Obviously, it's your usual suspects. Don't start Foster Moreau. Don't be that guy. Yeah, and I would only start Eckler if you absolutely have to. He's flex value only for me. I think Melvin Gordon starts to take over that job.
Don't even start Eckler. Eckler is handcuff stash value.
Quick thing. This could be a
PPR.
This could be a Keenan Allen get right game. The Raiders can't really stop anybody.
You would assume it happens at some point.
At some point, I'm thinking this might be. This could be the one.
Yeah,
I
you're
don't
starting
know.
him, and you're not hesitating.
But like I know Keenan Allen owners are starting to panic.
Right. So it sounds like we're all in agreement. Then we like the Raiders and over.
Raiders over.
That means bet the other way, guys.
I always like to
I
give a
guess
score
so.
on my predictions. I can still do that.
Yeah,
right?
please. Sorry.
That's all right. That's 35-31, son. It's going to be a close game.
Shootout.
It's going to be a shootout.
I would say like 24.
I lean toward 28-24,
31, 24 maybe.
I'm going 31-20. I think they win by double digits.
You're right in the middle of where I can see this game.
31.
And this puts the Raiders at what? 5-4.
5-4.
Looking kind of like maybe they're gonna make a little wild card run. Maybe.
Yeah,
They're in that-
Melvin Ingram coming
They're
back.
in a
is
steel
really
cage
the
match
truth.
for the 6th seed.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
Buffalo's
with the Steelers,
looking down like,
Yeah.
we're going to be that team that sleepwalks in fucking Cleveland this week.
Yep.
And I'm a
Please
Bills
let
fan,
that.
and
I
I'm
hope
saying
they.
this. Please, I hope I'm wrong.
I hope they do that.
I hope I'm wrong.
The Steelers don't have an easy one this week either.
Go.
See, the Bills and the Steelers played here. Now that game is more relevant than
A lot more relevant. Yeah.
All right, we have we have a game without a line. How's that sound? Obviously,
well,
you know we're waiting
yeah,
on.
yeah,
What
we're
we
waiting
got?
on
Chiefs,
Patty
Titans,
Mahomes,
waiting on
yeah.
Mahomes.
Chiefs, Titans.
I think I told you guys this. I think the NFL needs Mahomes back, dude.
Yeah.
They miss him.
They miss him.
Yeah.
It probably killed him deep down inside.
No
too,
offense,
that-
Matt Moore.
Ha!
No offense, sir.
But you don't
You
kill.
don't take any offense.
You
You're
killed
a
Mahomes.
journeyman guy. You don't
Yeah.
take any
Not to
offense.
prove himself against good teams.
Yeah.
And those are back-to-back great teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
We would have the whole NFL fans. Everybody would love to see Mahomes in those games.
Yeah. Of course.
Mahomes and Rodgers, yes.
Yeah.
So we don't have a line. We don't have anything. But I will say,
Is this in Tennessee?
that's the thing. This is in Tennessee, so Tennessee played pretty well at home.
They're so annoying.
They
They're
have
such
a
an
good
annoying
defense.
team.
I know Carolina just lit them up, but
They're
Carolina
annoying.
played great at home.
That's
Yeah.
the only explanation I have for that team. They're just like annoying.
Yeah.
You have no idea what team you're getting, and
Yeah.
who cares about the Tennessee Titans? Nobody gives a fuck about the Tennessee Titans.
In all
Nobody.
fairness, we got to understand this.
Rest in peace, my late great Steve McNair. That's the only fucking Tennessee Titan that I ever care about.
I gotta say this though: the Titans had the unfortunate task of playing a matchup-proof running back, the same matchup-proof running back that did work against the 49ers nonetheless. So, I mean, Derrick Henry had a good game though.
Yeah.
And
So
he
he's
shall
performing.
have another good game because it's Kansas City.
Their offense is
Their
running
run
through.
defense is like 29th, I believe.
I think it's
Yes.
I think it's a relatively high scoring game. I'm actually going to give you my fantasy start of the week. Not that you weren't starting this guy anyways because he's a stud. Travis Kelce's breaking out this game. Tennessee does not stop the tight end at all.
That's true.
You're obviously starting.
He's a
him
little
anyways.
biased because he owns them. And he got
I
him
would
from
pay
a little
up for him.
biased.
I would pay up for him in DFS this week. I think this is a Travis Kelce game. I think there's a great chance he actually
would
goes
agree.
for even 2 scores in this game. This could
Is
be
it
monster
more of a
line.
Kelsey game if Mahomes plays, or is it?
I think it's
matter?
probably more of
It's
a
even
Of
more.
course
It's
it
even
is.
more.
But I
Yeah.
feel like this has 30 Kelce fantasy points written all over it. I feel like this is a big game.
The
for
Titans
Travis Kelce.
cannot stop the Titans. You're
No.
right. I believe it's at the bottom.
Yeah.
30 from 28.
Do you have a player you like in that game this week particularly? Anybody else that sticks out in your mind?
Keep an eye on AJ Brown.
I mean,
He keeps doing it.
Your obvious guys. I'm trying to think of a. I like. him.
Yeah.
What I'm going to say, this is a bold statement after watching what they did to Dalvin Cook, but I think Derrick Henry
Oh yeah,
He's gonna have another game.
I do
Sure.
believe Derrick Henry's a big game. The Chiefs can stop. They can't stop the run.
Yeah, it could be.
They
And it's-
contain Cook though.
yeah, and it's not like Dalvin Cook had a bad game. You know,
No.
he wasn't maybe Dalvin Cook, but
He didn't hit his
certainly-
100-yard minimum.
Yeah.
And shout out to the touchdown vulture, Amir Abdullah.
Oh my god.
Not even
Yeah.
So
Madison.
tilting.
So
Yeah, he still had over 100. He had almost 120 yards
What's-
all purpose. Like
Yeah,
he
no,
was.
he was still good.
what's the pick this game?
The Chiefs to win on the field in a high scoring game, 38-24.
I like the Chiefs too, and if Mr. Mahomes plays, I like him obviously even more.
Yeah, my
don't-
score kind of has Mahomes coming back to play baked into it.
Yeah,
If it's Matt
so
Moore,
I would keep it low.
I think it's going to be lower. I think they win, but I think it's a one-score game.
I feel like Tannehill will have another good game.
If it's a
Fantasy-wise.
QB dependent game, either way, it's a high scoring game. I think
If Matt Moore's in there, the Chiefs are 3-point favorites. If Mahomes is in there, the Chiefs are touchdown favorites.
you're absolutely correct.
Yeah.
And I think the difference is if Mahomes is in there, they win by 10.
Yeah.
If Matt Moore is in there, they may only win by 6.
Yeah, that's what I said. I think it's a 2-score to 1-score game. That's really how I see it. I agree completely. Yeah.
All right, guys.
I like AJ Brown in that game, by the way.
And I love Derrick Henry still. And
What do you got?
I got
Team we don't have to talk about.
The Bills and the Browns.
the Bills and the
Hold on.
Browns.
I gotta go dunk.
We're gonna talk here. Can you dunk 2 of them?
Woo! Come on, throw it in. It's the Cleveland Browns have been thrown in the trash bin
Yeah,
officially.
that's it. They're off the lid. They're in the
They
trash
are
can.
done. Baker,
Can
sit
we
your
dump
stats
those,
down.
Can we
Sit
dump
your
those
stats
stupid
down.
Baker commercials?
Yeah, I'm done with
I'm
that.
tired
shit,
of watching
dude.
him walk
Me too,
across
man.
the fucking field to
Me
get a
too.
straw for his wife.
Me too.
I don't care how hot she is.
Fucking sit your ass down and shut your ass up.
Oh, well, let's completely understand this right now. The Browns are 3-point favorites.
Yep.
And the over-under is 39.5. I'd like to start these because I've been
Yeah,
going
this is
on
your
and on
team,
about
yeah.
this game for like the last 10 minutes.
This is your squad, man.
I had pointed out earlier, the Bills, all they do is play teams and play down to their level. They've left so many bad teams in games this year that they should have blown them out. They almost lost to Cincinnati because Josh Allen decided to make errant throws. Tennessee game, they were never in danger of losing. But Tennessee, I don't think are a bad team. They're just a mixed bag of a team. But it is what it is. The fucking Jets. They spot the Jets 16 3/4. They come back with 17-16. Like a lot of these wins are not impressive. The Buffalo, if they beat New England, that would have been impressive. But
Yeah, they're probably the most unimpressive 6-2 team that I've ever.
and I'm a
come
diehard.
across.
They should have blown out Washington, but for the second week in a row, Washington plays a team, a one-possession game, most of the game. And they were running the ball. The Buffalo for the last 2
I've
weeks
kind of been
not stopped
annoyed
the
with
run.
Josh Allen's progression. Like fantasy, like you did that.
Josh Allen's
Fantasy's
progression?
fine. Fantasy's fine because he runs.
Yeah.
But in real life,
But in real life,
stunted a little bit. You right?
here's the thing though. The last game, I actually saw growth in him. He was completing throws. He didn't have any
rooting for him.
turnovers.
I'm rooting for him.
He had
so
no turnovers.
that's
Found
a start.
Beasley.
That's a start because he does turn the ball over a lot.
Found
That's a
Dawson
start.
Knox for a near touchdown. Him and Singletary ran the backfield. You know what I mean? Allen made his clutch runs, but that offense is going to go as far as Josh Allen will let it.
Their formula should be to not have Josh Allen fucking have the ball a lot and not turn the ball over and run the ball.
You need to
Singletary,
involve
right?
Singletary in the
Play a
game.
little D. That should be. I mean, to me, they're really on
But if
their
they're
own
not
way
stopped-
to
if
win
listen,
games. Almost,
If they're not
you know?
stopping the run, then you best believe Kareem Hunt's not going to go for 70 yards against them. Kareem Hunt was fucking waiting to play. He's fresh as a motherfucker.
Yeah, he is.
And they're not stopping the run. And this could cause a battle for that backfield, especially if they win that game with him getting a decent amount of the reps. Like
When's the last time you played football? 2007.
the Mexico City game last year.
It's been a long time.
The should have been Mexico City game, moved back to Los Angeles.
Yeah, the NFL got some.
So-
they be doing some dumb shit sometimes.
Knowing how incomplete and how sluggish the Bills are, and they haven't got stung yet, I don't call losing to Philly as being stung. Philly were a desperate team and a hungry team.
Yeah.
This team's a desperate team and a hungry team. I hate to say it. This is a Browns victory, 21-17.
It's close. It's in Cleveland. It's a good game. I actually want to go to a fantasy thing and go to something that you were just talking about. This isn't Kareem Hunt's backfield. Please don't start Kareem Hunt. This is Nick Chubb's backfield. Hunt will get some work. Hunt could potentially at some point take it over. I can't say that. He's a great, talented guy.
For 1 second?
Please.
I was not saying that for fantasy purposes. I was saying that as this shit's probably going to happen. You got the guy who was leading the league in rushing last year, hungry.
But I just and
the Bills are giving up yards.
No, and I agree with that. I just don't want anybody watching thinking, and I'm not trying to say you're not. I don't think any of us are recommending to go out and start Hunt this week.
Yeah, give a disclaimer real quick.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't do that.
I was going to say this because you understand where I'm coming from, and you do too.
Yeah.
I am a complete moron half the time when it comes to this shit. My opinions, my views, and my crazy antics are in no way, shape, or form representative of anybody else in this group. I'm a loose screw. We live with it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, please. No, I just wanted to try to let people know out there. If you're a Chubb owner, be confident in Nick Chubb. This is your guy.
Yeah, don't blow it.
Yeah,
don't blow it.
And if Kareem Hunt is on your bench and he does go off and gets 150 total yards and a touchdown, don't be mad about that. We can't predict that. Alter your thinking going forward from there. As far as the football game goes, must win for each team. The Browns now find themselves looking up at 2 teams and down at only maybe the trash canniest of teams, the Bengals in the league. And the Bills, they need to do this. They want to stay relevant in the wild card. They want to potentially have a shot still at the Patriots that finally took a hit this week to Baltimore.
The door was reopened.
Yeah, it's a huge win. And like these guys were saying, a 6-2 team, this 3.5-point dog.
May I say one other thing?
Man, oh man.
May I say one other thing? If the Bills actually win this game and they win the games they're supposed to, Patriots still have Houston left on the schedule.
Yep.
A door could open.
Yeah.
Let's just establish that right now.
Oh no, a door could
I'm optimistic, but I'm being real here with the Browns.
Yeah, it's right. But it's a must-win game kind of for both of these teams. I believe betting-wise, I think the value lies in Buffalo. And Cleveland don't belong giving anybody 3 points. Let alone a Bills team that's been competent for most of the year, whether it's close games or not. So I actually like the Bills and the under here. I think this is a low-scoring game. I think the Bills get this game done. We'll say 17-14. Not a lot of scoring in this game, in my opinion.
So
you say 16-14?
17-14.
17-14.
Bills.
So when I looked at the schedule for the Browns, right? For weeks I've said in my head, I mean, I don't think they're gonna be great or anything, but I think they're gonna turn around because they're gonna get these opponents they can beat, right? So I thought it started last week. But it's over. It's over for the Browns. Last week solidified it for me. Like straight up, I just think they're just not a good. They're just not an overall good team, no matter what. They do all the hype. They want to keep trying to be positive. You guys suck. Baker sucks. He freaking sucks, dude. He sucks.
They have the luxury of playing a team that will allow them to stay in the game for 4 quarters, though. We got to understand that.
Yeah. So I'm not calling this a blowout or anything.
This is a bipolar Cleveland team who plays well at home.
Get to my point here.
I'm sorry. I'm just thinking back to how they almost beat Seattle.
So speaking of Hunt, like we said, I wouldn't play him because it doesn't make sense because it's still Chubb's backfield. But what I said before the year started, I think I told you before the year started, I said I love Chubb, but if the Browns somehow sputter, they don't have a great year. And it's week 10, and it's week 10, and they're 2-6. I cannot imagine that they don't give him some looks. And then we're not saying the fantasy wise don't start him. That's stupid, man. Don't be stupid. I already made a mistake last week. Don't be stupid. Play Chubb with confidence easily, but be aware.
Is it a situation to evaluate?
It is absolutely a situation to evaluate because they're in such a tough spot. The Browns are the pressure cooker. This game, if they somehow lose this game, do they just fire Kitchens at halftime?
No.
I'm kidding. But I mean, holy crap, they're gonna be 2-7. They're gonna be they're almost mathematically out of it at this point. That'd be like, what in the world? The only reason they still have somewhat of a chance if they win this game and then, the Ravens falter or something, or some
they got no shot at the division. They'd have to be a wild card. And even there, they're not. They're not. Browns fans, just get that out of your head right now. They're not coming back. Even if they beat Buffalo, they're not. This is
it's been it's been awesome to watch because they were just full of themselves.
Yeah.
I don't know
say
why.
this. Can I
They were full of
just
themselves.
reiterate something to your point, Jeremy?
Please.
With the way the parity is in the league, who the fuck knows?
Well, yeah, that's it. Like there really is a ton of parity, But we're still talking about a Cleveland team that, in my opinion, right now is down there with the Dregs, is down there with Cincinnati, is down there with Miami, is down there with the Jets. I feel like they're a bottom feeding team,
You know what's
and
funny?
they can't get out of their own way. They have all these parts.
I
It
just
should
dunked
work,
them in the
but
trash, right? I just
Yeah.
dunked them in the trash, but I somehow believe that they win this game
I don't.
somehow, and it's
I
because
don't.
because even Vegas they don't believe in the Bills.
The Bills already saved one desperate team season. Let's make it two.
And I'm not going as far as them saying.
Oh, they're not going to be saving the season.
They're not saving the
Cleveland,
season.
Yeah. The Browns are not. This is not their
this
turning
to me
point.
is just no, they're done in my opinion as well. It's not a turning point. It just seems like a desperation game that they could possibly,
even if they
slightly possibly could pull out because the Bills are vulnerable. They could give them to this is actually a good matchup for the Browns. Like on paper, they get to run the ball. That's what they want to do.
Yes,
keep the ball out of Mayfield's hands. Jesus, this guy overrated, 100% overrated. I think he just had a good rookie year, and the NFL catches on you quickly, and he's just simply overrated.
I like to reiterate a point I made at the last year on draft time when Bills were selecting in that draft. You knew they were one of the teams taking a quarterback.
Yeah.
I was advocating for them to take the guy who ended up being the fifth quarterback taken because he is the best of the bunch. I said it, and I love Josh Allen. Don't get me wrong. But I would much rather have Lamar Jackson running that offense right now than Josh Allen because you knew he had it. His only question
we always
was,
say
can he throw
hindsight
the
is
ball?
2020.
And the answer is yes.
Hindsight is 2020. The Ravens traded back into the first round to get him. Yeah. People were not even willing to pick him in the first round, which is unbelievable.
If you watched him at Louisville,
I did.
He had all the intangibles.
I did.
He was great.
I watched a lot of him at Louisville. I watched the game one time. They played Florida State, and it was like 62-3, and he had like seven touchdowns, and he was still playing.
So different of a quarterback, though. Like we talk about all these running quarterbacks, everybody. There has never been one like him. And I feel like that could be a reason why teams stayed off of stuff. They just weren't sure that this was working in the NFL.
And it's
hard to go. That's a gamble. You know what I mean?
If they had a full year of watching Deshaun Watson, those two are similar.
Yeah.
And they're both great quarterbacks.
Yeah, I don't know how similar they are. I feel like Lamar is in a category of his own. Not saying like he's better than everybody else. Like,
I actually think they're very
different. There's a difference.
They're very different.
Watson can scramble. Lamar is a fucking running back.
Yeah, he is.
He is a running back that can throw very well.
But if you were like comparing them, like Lamar's better at running, but whoa boy, Deshaun Watson is amazing.
I feel like they're two different. Yeah,
he's amazing at passing.
And then you look at it, you say, "Wow, Watson is."
Did you guys get to watch the London game? Did you guys get to watch that London game? Because I was up watching it. And I was like watching it, just amazing. He's simply
the man was going
down. He's a blast to watch.
The man was going.
If you're a fan of football, you want to watch Deshaun Watson.
The man was going down for a sack and somehow completed the Hyde.
Yes.
As he's going down by Ngakoue.
And how many of those?
Hyde who can't catch balls.
Yeah.
So.
How many of those did he do in that game? He had like 5 of those plays.
Yeah, and the week before when he got kicked in the face.
He got kicked in the face. The guy is that right now. Deshaun Watson is I love watching him play football. It's so fun to watch him play. You're just like how in the world did he just do that?
Both quarterbacks in the MVP debate. All right, gotta reel you guys back in because bad habit. It's okay though. We have passion. We love it, man. Fuck it. Right? We got the Cardinals and we got the Buccaneers in Tampa, and the Buccaneers are laying 4.5, and the over/under is 51.5. Joe, you start here.
We've got. I'm sorry.
We had the Cardinals and the Bucks. 4.5, 51.5. Buccaneers favorite.
I'm gonna go 85, 84. Tampa Bay Bucks. No, I'm just kidding. Well, actually, I'm not kidding. It's probably gonna be.
I think 55.
This game is where? This game is in Arizona.
The game is in Tampa Bay.
That doesn't even freaking matter.
This is
Tampa Bay scores a lot and they can't stop nobody. Arizona doesn't score as much and they can't stop nobody. So I'll take the Bucks in a slightly high scoring game, like I don't know, 31-21.
75-72 is a winner.
Yeah.
I got Bucks at under 27-20. I think they're the better team. A lot of
Man, Evans and these guys got some juicy.
I know it's a lot of fantasy goodness here. Jameis Winston, Mike Evans, Christian Kirk on the opposite side of the ball.
Pretty much Bucks are fantasy gold.
I'm not touching any of this. I'm not touching any of this run game on either side unless I know DJ is playing, and then I'll go to him.
Well, Kenyon Drake had a hell of a game.
Tampa Bay has a great run defense.
Kenyon Drake doesn't matter. I believe they almost like were.
Yeah,
they were like ruling DJ playing this game like.
Yeah, and Tampa Bay has a very good run defense. I'm not even sure. I don't love DJ this week. I would just play him because if you have him, you're not setting a top 10 pick that you have.
And if you have him, you probably have to play him because you don't have somebody who.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but other than that, I like the passing attack. Give me even some old man fits. Give Christian Kirk. Love Christian Kirk. Think he's a great start this week. Cheaper option in DFS too. Mike Evans, he's your guy. Godwin is still second fiddle there for anybody who thought otherwise. I'm sorry, it's Mike Evans. He's a target machine, a touchdown machine. He's really, really good. Start him. Tampa Bay wins. Two of the most bottom secondaries in the league.
Yes, I'm gonna go high scoring. I'm gonna go 42-35.
All touchdowns.
You know what?
Winston throwing crab legs.
41-35. We'll put 2 field goals.
Winston throwing crab legs in the stands.
And we got a push for the line. I love it.
And then we're gonna. Then the next game on the docket is. Does anybody care about the Battle of New York? It's.
Well, of course I do. I know my team is Dust, and they are officially on my Dust squad too. My heart.
Well, your Giants are favored by 2.5, and we got an over/under of 43.5.
The annual Snoopy Bowl has turned into the annual New York Dumpster Fire Bowl. This fucking sucks, man. This sucks. I'm sad. Last night I drank a lot last night. Me and my buddies were at the bar, and I drank a lot because it was hard to watch because we're just not good. We just don't have the talent. I don't believe in the coaching staff. I don't believe in Gettleman. Everyone keeps saying, you give him time, bro. What you put out there is just straight trash. All those picks. I mean, he's only rookie, so you can't just judge him right away or blah blah. Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
He's a rookie, so you're gonna expect him to make mistakes. I think he's still gonna be good. I think Daniel Jones is still gonna be good. He's got to clean up obviously the fumbles, and he's got to clean up the turnovers. But I mean, what rookie fucking doesn't? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He still has a game like last week where he throws 4 touchdowns. You know what I mean? So you see the potential in him, and I knew that we weren't gonna be good this season. I didn't know we were gonna be this bad.
Yeah,
but I knew that we were going to have a good season. So, I'm not as disappointed as, somebody would have, came with all these high expectations. I knew that they were going to start Daniel Jones at some point.
Mm-hmm.
I knew it was time for the Shmeli to go sit down.
Yeah.
Shmeli, it's over, my guy. I love you. You got me 2 chips, but you know what I mean?
He did a lot of good for that team over the years.
Did. But it's funny because, the offense isn't what I'm most sad about. The defense is just absolutely non-existent. It's hard to watch.
Yeah. My entire take on the game is actually going to be betting wise. You're playing the usual fantasy suspects. Maybe take a look at Ty Montgomery if Bell finds his way out of this game, but you're playing all the regular guys. Low scoring game, but for betting purposes, you'll hear me talk about taking the value on a game a lot of times, and I think all the value in this game is on the Jets. I think you have 2 teams that aren't good. The Jets are technically a home team in this game, which really doesn't mean too much since they both play at MetLife Stadium.
Doesn't mean shit. The fans there are all going to be
season ticket holders.
But to me, this is a game where I don't really see an advantage one way or the other, and I'm getting almost 3 points from the Jets. There's value there. They might lose this game half the time, but I'd still take those points. I think that's where the value is, and I actually think the Jets are one of the better bets of the week this week.
Wow. I'm obviously taking the Giants because I love them.
You do something I never do. I would completely pass on picking this game because I have no idea.
Okay, well, I'm going to pick it.
I can't pick
I'm going to pick it, and Daniel Jones is going to have a good game.
But see,
the Jets are even worse than the Giants. That's the only thing I have. That's the only thing I have to go
can't
off.
Pick a team who's got a bad defense, and I can't pick a team.
The Jets have a bad everything. The Jets have a bad.
Lost to the Dolphins.
And that's my point on going with the value here. This is a game where I don't see either team as whatever. I don't see anybody that separates anything here. So I'm going to take the 2.5 points and be happy.
I'll just take the better offense. And we have Saquon Barkley, and he's going to run all over the Jets because the Jets are atrocious.
Yeah, neither offense is better than the other.
They're all bad.
Yeah.
It's all bad. But
Yeah.
who's got the better players? That's what I'll go with. Who's got the better skill
Can I
guys?
answer that? May I?
Saquon Barkley is the best player in the whole game. What do you mean?
May I answer that, please?
Saquon Barkley is better than Le'Veon Bell right now.
I'm going to tell you right now. The Giants have the better running back. The Jets have the better core receivers. That's how I'll leave it. You have Demaryius
If
Thomas.
Shepard's healthy, I think it's the Giants.
Both receivers are atrocious.
If Shepard's
Jameson
healthy,
Crowder.
I would just take Evan.
targets.
I would just take Evan Ingram over everybody. How about that? Does that help? Because they all suck too on the Jets.
Yeah, but you got guys that can produce. Like that tight end position when Herndon comes back, he can produce.
We're not going to spend most.
I just want to say, Jameson Crowder.
I'm just going to. I just want to win. I just personally want to win. That's all. I just want. Let's just go 4-12. Just give me one more win. That's all. That's all I want.
If you want some fantasy gold, you might get it from the Saints. They're 13-point favorites at home against Atlanta. The over/under is 51.5. I'd like to start here with real quick. I think this game is going to be a shootout. I know New Orleans' defense is great and phenomenal, but the Falcons have the best passing attack in the league.
They do, actually.
Julio Jones and Michael Thomas are both going to cause matchup problems. And I think it's going to be a type of game where both quarterbacks are going to put up numbers. Both those wide receivers are going to have days. Unless one of you guys tells me that Lattimore is going to take Julio Jones out of this game.
I don't have any evidence that the Falcons could play with the Saints. Where's the evidence that they can play with the Saints?
Historically.
Because they have the statistically number 1 or number 2 passing offense?
No, because historically they play shootouts.
This season, I don't want to talk about historically. This season, I have no evidence that the Falcons can do anything against the Saints defense.
The Falcons play shootouts and lose.
They stink terribly.
Oh, I know.
I don't have any evidence that they can play with the Saints. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
With the way that it goes with the Falcons is they can't win games, but they can hang in there and put up points and stay within 3 to 10 points. And Matt Ryan's been passing. The Saints did give up yards and points to the Texans in week 1, if you remember. So they can be beat. And this is a team that plays them twice a year. They play in the same division. Both quarterbacks are familiar with each other and their defenses. This is the type of game that could be very high scoring.
So we got Saints.
I have the Saints, but I'm not certain they cover. I think it's going to be a 38-31 type of game.
I'll just stick with my guys. Blowout Saints.
I will take Saints and over. I'll go 34-20. I think it is a somewhat high-scoring game. I am worried about Lattimore on Julio, but I think Julio can still get it done.
I think he'll still have a good game, but I mean, like one of those unbelievable games, I don't think.
Just remember, from a Falcons standpoint, they are downgrading from the 460-yard god that is Matt Schaub to Matty Ice this week, so keep that in mind when you're setting lineups.
How tilting that is.
Look, Matty Ice is going to get it done. You hear them say all the time about dome games and fast fields and this and that. New Orleans tends to have some very high-scoring games. I certainly don't think they're winning this game, but 20 points, I think they score. I think they had a couple touchdowns, and I think the Saints are way too much. I don't think Atlanta can stop them. So, 34-20, Michael Thomas on a field day. Yeah. Alvin Kamara comes back. Alvin Kamara on a field day. Saints have a lot of fantasy.
Possibly Calvin Ridley because Julio Jones will get the shadow.
Austin
Hooper's a good,
Austin Hooper.
He's a good play.
Yeah, he's been great. You know, you're going to continue to roll him out there. He's a top 5 tight end.
But I'm just saying Calvin Ridley because they don't have Sanu there now.
Yeah.
And then I feel like a lot of games where you have that one cornerback and he gets the star guy. The other guy kind of gets to eat a little more just simply because the quarterback isn't. You know, you got to think as a quarterback. I'm looking at Marshall. I might not want to go to him as much.
It's quite possible. I think Julio's that type of guy where he's just about matchup proof. So
there's no sitting. Yeah, there's no sitting a guy like that. We've hammered that home. Yeah. Don't ever sit your studs. I mean, when we talk about matchups, it's the studs guys are out of it. Yeah. We're talking about matchups with guys that are not studs. You know, and then you have a decision.
Yeah, you might have to start Devonta Freeman, but I don't really like him much.
If you have better options, use him. Rodney Freeman's been a disappointment.
That's about all I got on that one.
I think we're all in agreement there with the Saints. And just what type of game it would be is really different. All right, got another division game. These are fun. The Ravens coming off that high. At defeating the previously undefeated Patriots. There won't be no 16-0 season. Sorry, guys. Ravens laying 10. The over-under is 46. In Cincinnati, with Ryan Finley making his first career start. With possibly A.J. Green back.
We're not spending a lot of time.
No,
Ravens.
31-7 Baltimore. They dust them. The Bengals are horrible. I don't think Finley gets much going. Finds a touchdown to one of the guys. I really don't have much to say.
Yeah, I would say
Starting your Baltimore defense and be really, really happy about it.
You with A.J. Green back?
Absolutely. Yeah, and with Ryan Finley at quarterback and a hungry defense that improved once Peters came there, yeah, I think this is Baltimore, and it is Baltimore to buck.
Their defense definitely has looked better.
And the only reason they stop at 31 points is because they're just going to run the ball at the end of the game because it's over.
Yeah. It's a very, very big mismatch.
Yeah, I like Ingram this week. I think he's a good play.
It's not poor. I mean, I would say poor Bengals. Poor Bengals. They get off the bye and then they gotta face one of the best, if not the best quarterback. That sucks.
24-7 Ravens. There's three names out of this game for fantasy purposes. Lamar Jackson, Mark Ingram. I'm gonna throw Mark Andrews in there.
Okay.
Mark Andrews hasn't had a relevant game in a while.
These are
bounces back
automatic starts anyway.
Yeah.
Nothing.
What about Willie Snead?
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Possibly.
What about quickly? Anybody on the Bengals for fantasy?
No.
We're not talking about real life.
If you have Tyler Boyd, you're probably playing him this week unless you have better options. I probably wouldn't run AJ Green out there yet. I would not play Mixon unless you have to. I wouldn't play any of them unless you really have to. But Tyler Boyd would be the one because of the targets. I
might have to play Mixon.
Yeah,
because of my trade.
I probably feel the best about Boyd because of the targets, but I don't feel great. Yes,
you can flex them. You can flex them.
Yeah.
Some guys you feel way better than about them.
Yeah, but I'm not playing. Say Alex Erickson this week.
Nah.
Or what's his name? The other.
Tate.
I'm not playing Austin Tate. I'm not. Yeah. So
nobody on the back.
Yep.
Maybe Boyd.
Wait. Yeah. So we're saying wait and see on AJ Green.
Yep. Absolutely.
This is probably not the game for him.
No. All right. The next game is the Lions and the Bears. The Bears are 2.5-point favorites. The over/under is 40. That's at 425.
Oh, okay.
So I skipped.
Gotcha.
It's like time order. 41.5. Make this short and sweet because unfortunately both teams have fallen behind in the NFC North. Go with the Bears at home. Have a temporary glimmer of hope and they pull out a surprise win here. And I think because Soldier Field's a tough place to play, I think that Stafford is limited to half of the production he's come on with the last month. And I think David Montgomery gets going again. I think David Montgomery's your fantasy starting this game.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Allen Robinson got someone involved as well. They need to utilize him more. This is a premier matchup for him in that secondary. They have not been the same since releasing Quandre Diggs. Oakland put up 31 on him. So
I actually forgot that game from week 9. That was a fun game to watch.
I did too. That was a fun game to watch. So I think the Lions are gonna lose again. It's gonna be I'm gonna go with a very low score in 17-13 Bears. Anybody else on this game?
Look, the Lions secondary is bad. It was bad before Diggs left. It's even worse now. Yes, Allen Robinson, unfortunately, is the only Bears pass catcher you can have faith in. Anthony Miller could be a fun DFS play just because he'll get his targets and he could be okay. And the Lions secondary sucks. But Mitch Trubisky's passing the ball, so temper expectations. If I could find a way to make this game a push with the over-under and a push with the spread, I would. So I'll say 21.5 to 18. Don't understand why I got a half a point in here, but I'm gonna because I wanted to hit the over on the number. And the Bears win. Close game. I'll take the home team. I don't like much here at all. I don't. You're not starting Ty Johnson. You're not starting anybody in that backfield for the Lions. Montgomery's the one guy in this game I start with confidence. Him and Allen Robinson. Kenny Galladay because you have him, you got to start him. Don't have a choice.
You're not confident in him, though.
I'm confident he has a decent game. I'm confident he'll put up like 13 fantasy points for you. But
13
I don't.
something.
But I don't think it's going to be like the potential for like Galladay last week where he put up like a 25 burger.
No, you're right.
Yeah,
I like the Lions.
weirdo.
I don't like the Lions. I don't like personally.
Mhm.
I like Stafford. What was the line again?
32.5 and 41.5.
Yeah.
I'll take the Lions 21-12.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
There's
Exactly.
gonna be some sort of ugly low score.
Yeah, 21-8.
Listen, the
Yeah.
Bears are not the Trubisky fact. It's over, yo. They suck, man. Like I'm
The
just
Bears are who we thought they
I'm
were
simply
without
taking the
Mark Lawrence.
Lions in this game because Stafford has played well. Their offense is. Yeah, I know Bears defense is, they're good or whatever the hell you want to say. They still suck. The Bears suck. I'll take the Lions. I like Stafford.
Yeah, 22.5 to 19.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Next game on the docket, we're gonna go a 405 showdown between the 1-win Miami Dolphins and the Indianapolis Colts in Indianapolis.
Brisket.
You know,
The Colts are 10.5 point favorites. The over/under is 44. Oh, I'd like to start off with
Brisket. I love brisket. I don't not Brissett. I love
if
brisket.
Brissett plays.
I had brisket last night. Oh boy.
If Brissett plays, which there all indications are that he will,
Mhm.
I like the Colts handily in this game. If that Brian Hoyer starts,
I still
love the Colts
No.
handily in this game. I don't think the quarterback will matter what they're going to do, but my guess is they're going to feature Marlon. Well, I mean,
Shout out
Steelers.
to Ryan Fitzmagic, by the way.
Yes.
Shout out. Congratulations, man. He was so happy about getting this win. They're all happy about getting this win. There's a
Absolutely.
miserable time down there they've had, They've been like almost purposely losing games, like the Washington game and shit. Like
Now, there we go. He was trying to win. He got one finally. I see the.
But that doesn't matter this
No,
week.
this is
or ever
this
again.
week is a different story.
They don't
They're
get
in Indy,
they play the Jets every week. I might like them.
different story.
Otherwise, I'm taking the other team.
I'm gonna say this about this game. I don't see much happening for Miami. I think this is a not a dominant Colt win, but this is like a 15-6 type of game, and maybe a little more. Maybe I'm just not giving enough credit to the offense here. Or maybe 20-6. We'll go 20-6 because the Colts aren't going to put up 30 or 40. I think it's going to be one of those games where.
Is it possible that fantasy wise, like the Colts are more relevant with freaking Hoyer than Brissett?
No.
But for this, what about this game? What about this?
No, because Brissett had been great. He had that one game, and even then he threw for like 250. He didn't look bad. He just didn't throw a touchdown. No.
Yeah.
Brissett is clearly the better choice than Hoyer, fantasy and real life here. Look, it's a blowout. There's a reason that Vegas set this line at 10-5. Not sure about Brissett. Because they expect to win regardless.
They're going to win.
I feel like this is the type of game where they get up late. I love Marlon Mack in this game. The Dolphins have been bad. Let's not confuse last week's win and a couple of games that are a little bit close for a team that is good. The Steelers, wound up crushing them after they got their act together. The Bills kind of pulled away at the end after they got their act together.
The Bills were 2
what
yards
they
away.
do is they play hard, but
in the third quarter,
they're outmatched.
21
They were, but then they came out and they won the game like they were supposed to. Yes, Mark Walton's not playing. They're relying on Kalen Balazs. They just lost Preston Williams to IR.
And they will be outmatched in every game.
They're playing a better defense. They're playing a team with a massive offensive line. I think this is a Marlon Mack 160-yard rushing game, and I think Brissett finds it into the end zone a couple times. Absolute slaughter. Give me the Indianapolis Colts 34, Miami Dolphins nothing. Blowout city.
Jokey, top that.
I was going. No, I can't. I'm going that same direction. 28-7.
So I'm being generous, but
I don't even know who I'm giving the touchdown. Actually,
20,
you know what? I kind of feel the 0 because I'm trying to think of who I'm giving the touchdown to.
I'm feeling a 0.
Who am I giving the touchdown to for the Dolphins?
They just lost their most relevant receiver after getting rid of Kenny Stills.
I was just thinking about that. I'm like, who's going to score?
They thought they found their potential running back in Mark Walton. And now they got to go to Kalen Balazs, a guy they don't care about there.
Yeah, this is
a defense that isn't all that good at all.
This is a team that tried to limit Minka Fitzpatrick.
And for anybody betting, I
I
wouldn't change the out. Like I would still, if you were thinking about betting it, whether it's Brissett or Hoyer, either way, it's a blow.
34-0 either way. I'll take
All
it.
right.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, we got 5 minutes, and I got 3 more games. 4 more games to get to.
Okay, let's go quick.
Let's go with America's Game of the Week on Fox for the national distribution.
Packers kicked the butt out of the Panthers. Kyle Allen just started there with Cam Newton on IR for the year. Obviously, McCaffrey is just a god at running back.
You want to know the numbers?
Yeah, let's hear the numbers. Sorry.
It's all right.
Trying to rush after we need to go.
I'll try and speak up a little faster myself. Packers -5, the over-under 47. Go ahead, you may continue.
Packers win this game 31-20. The Panthers are going to score mostly because Christian McCaffrey will get it done. They're not going to stop them. I think that this will be a get-right game for Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones. Start the running backs. Start Adams if he's back. I like the Packers, and it might be way worse than the 11 points I'm giving them.
Wow. I'm interested in this game. The spread was what?
6 and 47 ish.
6 and 47.
Yeah.
Damn. I'm taking the Packers to win the game, but I think it'll be a close game. I don't think the Panthers are a bad team. I think they're a pretty solid team, and the Packers are.
I agree
vulnerable.
with you. I
mean, did they just sleepwalk in LA,
did.
or were they show a little vulnerability because they're coming after them?
I think they're overlooking LA because Carolina are a viable team that can beat them. The only time Carolina's looked bad in the last 2 months is against San Fran, but that goes for any team in the NFL. I don't care who it is.
We already talked about it. The parity.
The Steelers are the only ones
who at home. A lot of parity.
Only one. They have the defense. Carolina did have the but the running game evolved. Tevin Coleman makes a difference. Period.
Yeah, without a doubt.
I'll say this.
I'm not picking any of the Packers to blow out anybody anymore.
You having trouble with the score? Can I give you?
I'm having trouble with the score.
I'm going to say it's going to be 31-28. It's going to be a really close game. I don't think they blow them out.
And you take the Packers.
Get the fuck out of here.
It's at home.
Get the fuck out of here. What?
The Cowgirls are 3-point favorites at home over the Vikings.
Is that the next game? So we're
no, it's not the next game.
No,
I'm just jumping to it.
Packers.
Wow.
Packers. I like it to be a close game.
Close game blowout.
Yeah.
No, the next game is the Rams at the Steelers. The Rams are 3.5-point favorites on the road. The over/under is 44.
This game is
I get to start with this game.
Okay,
I'm going to take this here. Look, I've been hammering home for a while. Steelers fan or not, they're a better team than the record indicates. The Rams have looked a little shaky. Cooks is out now with his concussions. Could be on the shelf for the year. Steelers defense has been very good. Steelers run game has been solid. I think Connor's back this week. I think the pass game is good. I don't think the Rams defense is all that amazing. I'm going to take the Steelers to win here and pull out what I don't feel is an upset. 24-17. James Conner all day long if he's in there and playing. Not a big fan of Juju this week, but I'm going to give you a surprise. This is going to shock some people. I kind of like Ryan Switzer this week as an outlier. I would play him in DFS for a dirt cheap price.
Switzer.
This game is the googly eyes emoji game.
They got rid of Moncrief.
Yes,
Who got picked up by the Panthers.
I saw that.
Yes.
I'm gonna be watching this game for fantasy purposes. For I have people that like the Steelers. I have a rooted interest in the Steelers, not myself, but also I think it's gonna be a good game. This is gonna be telling. This is a tough game for the Rams to come out of the bye because the Steelers have a real defense. I don't know if anybody else has noticed. The Steelers, they got a real defense.
I know they have a real defense.
They got a real defense. This is gonna be hard. It's gonna be a very hard game for the Rams.
I make a very clear point of that to anyone that will listen that their defense is basically keeping them in and helping them win games. Their defense might get them playoffs.
I'm gonna take the Rams.
Okay. 3 of their 4 wins have come as underdogs. Underdogs to the Chargers, underdogs to the Colts, and underdogs to the Bengals. Were they Bengals underdogs? No, I'm sorry. 2 of their 4 wins, they were favorites against the Bengals. They're winning this game.
This is a team that went to overtime with Baltimore and made Lamar Jackson look human. The only defense to do it. Goff is not having a great year by any standards. I know the last 2 games they've
I'm
played
sorry, I didn't even say the
trash
score.
games.
But whatever. I'm just taking the Rams. I don't even know. I don't even care what the score is. I'm not betting anyway. So.
This has the makings of 25-22 Steelers.
Smart man.
Yeah, so by no means take what I say
struggled
and bet
with
it,
that.
please, because I'm just going with my guts.
I still think Cup. The Cup might have a weird game this week. Woods might have out their 60, 70-yard type of game. The Rams don't stop anybody on the run on the ground with the run defense. So
maybe I'm just delusional, and I'm thinking that the Rams are going to come out and be different than they have been. I guess I'm not.
The last 2 games against Atlanta, Cincinnati. I know they're coming off.
Oh yeah, those don't really count in my eyes. But like I just
tough
feel like
teams, like the Browns even played them tough. This is a road game. This is Pittsburgh. I think the Steelers take it by 3 points. It's going to be a highly contested game. It's not going to be a blowout.
No.
And now we have 2 games left. As you said, you were looking at the cheat sheet here earlier. This is what he says. He says, "Are you serious? The Cowboys are
Cowgirls. I said the
Cowgirls are
Cowgirls.
3-point favorites at home against the Vikings."
You guys saw the picture of my daughters for Halloween, right?
Yeah.
I said, guys, got a handcuff me. Take a picture.
I'd like to start with this. I'm going to give a really quick opinion right here. Number 1, for fantasy purposes, both the backs.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, I got to go to Stop and Shop, go to the deli, and see the guy that caught 2 of the Vikings touchdowns. And
see, I'm not buying meat from that motherfucker. I'm good on that, dude.
This has the game. This is the type of game. It's, to me, Kirk Cousins did not have an awful game last week. He just got outplayed. They did as a team by 1 play. It was an even game the whole time, and Matt Moore is not a bad film quarterback. Dak, this is his first real test, I think. Because, he laid an egg against Green Bay, made up for it at garbage time, but Minnesota built to win in primetime in games like this where they need to win to have a chance to make the postseason. They need this game for possible tie-breaking purposes. Because it might come down to them and Dallas for a wild card.
I'll start.
What
was it under?
Over-under was 48.
Yeah, I got it right when you did.
I'll take Minnesota 24-21. Actually, I mean, damn, that's freaking super close. I don't think like team wise, I don't think they're very close team wise. I think the Vikings are a better team here.
Yeah.
And I don't give a shit. They play Jerry World or where the hell they play, right? The Cowboys haven't beaten anybody. Beat the Giants twice. We already talked about how bad they are. They beat the Redskins. They beat I don't even know who they beat. They didn't beat anybody good. They beat the Dolphins and they didn't beat anybody good. Okay, so they haven't beaten anybody good. I don't have it.
They beat Professor Joe's PB basketball team.
Yeah, that's about as far as they could go. I like the Vikings in this game because I think they're the better team. They're going to run the ball. And you said both backs. You're right. I do like both backs.
Both backs eat.
I like Cook more, and I like Kirk Cousins. You're right. He didn't play bad. He's played well. I don't see any reason why
does he outplay Dak?
Wait a second. This is a Sunday. They got another primetime game. Why do they keep giving these stupid Cowgirls primetime games? Do they really think they're good?
The Niners have back-to-back primetime.
The Niners are a good team, and people hate the Niners a lot. You know, people hate the Cowboys. They hate them. They love the
Cowboys too.
Yeah. Well, I don't love them, and I don't love them in this game, and I don't love them against any really good team.
Go ahead.
Line puzzles me. Don't understand how the Cowboys open at 2.5 and move to 3. So for betting purposes, I'm probably laying off that. I really like the Vikings. I'm high on the Vikings. Anybody that's tuned in knows I'm high on the Vikings.
What they're saying
I'm not lowered off of them because of this.
I like the answer. What I'm going to tell you is I think it's like this because on paper they think the 2 teams are evenly matched.
Yeah.
Just giving the home field advantage of 3 points.
Vegas
Even
is
on paper they're not.
Vegas is tasked though with trying to find a number that's going to get both sides bet even. In a perfect world, Vegas wants a 50-50 split so they can collect their VIX. This says to me that the Cowboys are betting darlings. And if you twist my arm, I'm going to take the Vikings. And I think this line probably winds up moving somewhere to like Cowboys -1, 1.5. And I don't think it should be there. I think it should be closer to a pick.
Time out.
Yeah.
I just thought about this. There is a difference maker, and that's why the line is 3, and it makes that much of a difference in my opinion. This game would be a pick if Adam Thielen was playing. They're saying he might not play.
Yeah, no.
That's huge.
Yes, he's not moving the barometer that much. He just isn't. Not when you have Dalvin Cook. You still have Diggs, he's shown up every week except this last one, and they went to some other guys. It's not like Dallas has a great defense. I just don't believe Thielen moves the barometer that much for this. I don't. Maybe a point.
Him and Diggs, they take turns though, man.
I agree. They miss it, but I don't think it's enough to move the barometer that many points. For the purposes of this, I'm going to take the Vikings, and I'm going to take the Vikings 27-21. So right on that over/under. They'll both score. There's definitely some scoring going on, but I don't feel good about that number. It just feels really, really weird to me.
What do you like fantasy wise? I mean, obviously you're the obvious ones.
Yeah, all of them.
Any?
I'll tell you what. I think Witten can be a streaming tight end this week. I think he can be most weeks. I believe I saw he's had 6 or more targets in every game but one this year. I believe he's had 3 or more catches in every game this year. I kind of like him as a streamer here.
Does Diggs possibly bounce back?
Of course he can. The Dallas secondary doesn't scare you. I think he's still a great receiver.
I don't know what the word is on Thielen, but
I don't know either. They said he's possible.
Hamstrings are tricky. Injuries are tricky. You just never did. It's always like up in the air.
Yeah, it sounds like he's a wait and see still proposition for this week. But no, I like Diggs to bounce back. I think the Vikings play well this week, and I think Cook really gets it going again.
Yeah,
not that he ever slowed down.
I agree.
But
he's gonna have a game where he's only gonna give you 16 points.
Yeah,
only.
Right.
Excuse me. With the way Xavier Rhodes has been playing this year, I do like either Cooper.
Is that where you're going?
I like Cooper or Gallup, one of them to have a game. Maybe they both have games. But ultimately, I think Cousins outduels Prescott, and that's the difference.
Okay.
I don't feel ever so quickly. Gallup is. I don't like playing him, man. He makes me nervous playing him. He 2 catches for. I mean, he had a touchdown. But like the other few games with 2-3 catches.
Yeah. I just feel like if this game was played before this last week, before the Vikings lost a close game to the Chiefs on the road, and before the Cowboys blew out the Giants after trailing to start, I feel like this number would be way different.
Yeah, it would be.
I think maybe it was overreacted on this.
A little perception.
I feel like this would have been Vikings like -2.5 if they played this game last week.
They're giving him a little. I don't know why they're giving him credit for being.
I feel like there's a big overcorrection.
And if you said Vegas thinks these teams are equal on paper, they're smoking more dust than Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna wrap up this game. We're out of time, and we got 1 game left. With you guys, I'm gonna go with the Vikings here.
All right, very good.
Very close game. Last game of the week, guys. This is the best game of the week. Period. End. The undefeated Niners host the Seattle Seahawks and Russell Wilson. The Niners are laying 6. The over/under is 46.5. I'd like to start here as I will say this really quick about this game. I don't have time to get into it like I would, but I will say this. The Seahawks don't stop anybody. They have to play a shootout. But they're up against the one team that's designed to take away Russell Wilson. They have a line that can contain Russell Wilson and force him to throw out of the pocket. And they have a secondary consisting of one of their former Legion of Boom mates that could cover the receivers. So I think this might be an offensive stalwart for the Seahawks. And I think this is a feast for the running game. And I believe Emmanuel Sanders has himself a day.
Because you traded with him for me.
Absolutely not. I just look at what these wide receivers have done against the Seahawks, and it's quite impressive.
Yeah, can we like put a hold on that trade? Just put a hold. Go ahead.
I see a lower scoring game here. I don't think the Niners are blowing the Seahawks out. And yeah, I know the Seahawks don't stop anybody, but it's not like the Niners drop back and pass. I think there's a lot of running games. a lot of running here. Prior to this year, the Seahawks are one of the run heaviest teams in the NFL a couple years in a row. I think that their offense, passing wise, isn't built to beat the Niners that way. Heavy dose of Chris Carson. I think on the opposite side, we know who the Niners are. They run basically as much as anybody in the NFL. I think they get the job done in a close game. I'm going to take the Niners in a little bit of a slog fest and say 16-13.
Joe.
I'm on the same track. That's exactly what I was going to say. The running game is going to be prevalent in this game. There's going to be a lot of running. If the Niners do, they will be able to pass, like you stated with Emmanuel Sanders, because the Seahawks can't stop anybody. I would take the Niners 10-7.
Wow. I want to add real quick. I'm sorry. I've been wrong about the Niners all damn year. That is the thing I've been the most wrong about this season so far. So probably don't bother listening to me. They'll most likely murder them.
I know the Niners gave up 25 on short rest, but they're the only team to play Thursday night. And then the next game's on Monday. That's the full max rest you can get. 49ers are going to be fresh. I'm aware they're dealing with some injuries, and they lost Quan Alexander. However,
oh my God, I forgot
the
about
front
that.
four is still the most ferocious front four I've seen in a long time.
So that's a huge injury, dude.
However,
I don't think it's going to make them like not a good defense, but that's hard.
They've already overcome McGlinchey and Staley being not on that offensive line. The offensive line
I'm not talking about offense, because defensive injuries to me mean a lot more than offensive injuries, in my opinion.
Hey, that's a huge loss for them, but the front four can still get pressure. The secondary is. I know you can't replace Quan Alexander.
They have an amazing D line. They do.
So
I still picked them to win this game.
I still think the Niners win. I'm going to go with a 23-20 vibe, though.
Okay.
I still think Seattle's going to stay in it, but they're not going to blow up like they have.
So we all see close, lower scoring games here.
Yeah. 10-7 was.
Yeah, maybe a little low.
Low.
I thought 16-13 might have been a little low, and you said, wait a minute, I can outdo you.
23-20 final.
Yeah.
I know it's pretty hard to keep Russ at 7, but their defense is the truth, and they're in San Fran, and it's going to be a raucous.
This is the beginning of the gauntlet of their schedule.
It is.
They've gotten this far. Let's see if they keep it up.
Let's see if they can keep it up.
That's going to be a game.
Does Garoppolo go ham 2 weeks in a row? Last point.
Nope. Run game. Coleman and Breida.
I believe that was a matchup based.
I just got rid of
him.
That's okay. I don't think they're going to have mega games, but I think this is a ground game.
It sizes up as that.
Yeah, and it's tough too. Like we see Coleman's got the job done, but Breida had more touches. I know the backfield is really good. I just don't know who to tell you to start one over the other week in and week out.
Yeah,
I wish I could tell you.
And that's frustrating.
You got to play them both.
Coleman, if you twist my arm, but I feel like the better play is either playing neither or playing both.
I got rid of both because I didn't want to make that decision.
Yeah, it's a tough decision for an owner.
I got Melvin Gordon and 2 guys I could sit on my bench that I still think could become relevant.
Yeah, I think we all feel Melly could be in line for a bigger second half. They're definitely trying to make it a priority to run the ball and get him more touches. So I like volume in fantasy over, I like having that opportunity, that volume over being like an amazing player or whatever it is. And he's volume. And he is a good player.
Stick to the stats.
Chase volume in fantasy.
Stick to the numbers. Yeah. Exactly.
They both got 10 to 15 carries a game. All right, that is it for this week. We'll be back next week. Thank you for tuning in, everybody.
Happy Veterans Day.
Happy Veterans Day. Go Steelers.
Enjoy week 10. Have a good day.
All right, boys.